Good evening. Welcome to Fantastic Dimensions. We are going to play Flails Akimbo here shortly. But before we do that, I just want to resolve the Mörk Borg giveaway that I've been doing on the Discord for Fantastic Dimensions. Now I have this set up. I need to turn on this. And here we go. Now I've got everybody's names in there. I think there are 39 names total. This is just a cool little thing I found online, wheelofnames.com. It's a free little thing you can use on the browser. So here we go. Let's see who gets the book. It's going to go to Alex Ravendesk. And the reason I find that kind of amusing is that Alex joined just before the deadline. So congratulations, Alex. I've got your book already packed because I repackaged it shortly after opening it. So I will be in touch with you to get some shipping details, and I will send that your way. Now, let's play some Mörk Borg. Okay. This time, something I haven't done in my previous games on the channel, we are going to roll basic characters, no optional classes. So you are all going to be just citizens of Galgenbeck. You're not adventurers. You're not like treasure hunters or anything of that sort. You're not heretical priests, etc. You're just citizens of the greatest city that ever was, basically. Which Galgenbeck, in the land of Teveland, is the greatest city that ever was. No king or queen rules in Galgenbeck, but an archpriestess by the name of Yosilfa Meagle. Deep beneath the cathedral of the two-headed basilisks, in a cool black chamber crossed by shards of light, lies her throne. Yosilfa, old but still young. Commoners gossip that she colludes with the god Necrobel, who gave her eternal life. Necrobel, the shadow that covers all, is melancholy, crop failure, conflict, and war. It is said that he whispered the apocalyptic prophecies into Verhu's ear. And those are the apocalyptic prophecies which are coming true constantly. And you know that the world is dying. You are perhaps only months away from the end. But for whatever reason, each and every one of you found yourselves awaking in a cell with none of your possessions except for your basic clothing or undergarments, whatever you happen to be wearing at the time, and weapons nailed to your hands. So to start, we'll roll your ability scores. I'm just going to pull it up on my PDF. I think I have it right here. Yeah, so I think for randomizing abilities, here we go. So you're going to roll 3d6 for each of your ability scores. There are 4: agility, presence, strength, and toughness. And then each of these is going to generate your modifier, which is what we're going to record. All right. So Mike, you want to go first? Mike Falcon.
And you won't believe it. 17.
Okay, so you have an agility of +3. So whoever your kidnapped citizen is, he was very agile. And what's your presence? Roll the next one.
And a 13 on this.
You have a +1 in presence as well. So agility is your defense, balance, swimming, fleeing. Presence is used to perceive, aim, charm, wield powers. Strength?
12.
So that's a +0. That's for crushing, lifting, striking, grappling. And your toughness.
And toughness. It's another 3d6.
Mm-hmm.
9.
And that's also a +0. All right. So you have a high agility, a decent presence, average strength, and toughness. So if you want to also roll a d2, please. Sorry.
Yeah, 1.
A 1. So you have
That's
1
omens.
omen. Yep, you have 1 omen. Roll a d8 as well. Sorry, plus your toughness. Which is
6.
0. So you have 6 hit points. 1 omen, 6 hit points. And if you want to generate a name or think of a name, or maybe you already generated, somebody did earlier. That's cool.
Can somebody help me out with the name?
Yeah, absolutely. Go ahead.
Yeah.
D6.
I got a 5 on the D8 and a 2 on the D6.
2 on the D6 and a 5 on the D8. You said, yeah.
Correct.
Your name is Grin.
I like it.
Grin. Grin. Interesting. Okay. That was quick. That's one character done. Oh, actually, just while we're at it, go ahead and roll a D8. Sorry, real quick, Falcon. Grin.
1.
1. You have knives nailed to your hands.
Sweet.
They do a D4 damage. So now we'll go to Mike Hex.
All right. Agility. Terrible. That is a 7. And presence.
Hold on a second. The 7 comes to. Sorry, I'm on the wrong page. Is it on here? No, it's not on the short sheet. Just gotta pull up my thing. And that's the wrong one. There we go. 7 is a -1, so you have -1 agility. Okay. What'd you roll for presence?
13.
That's +1. 13. +1 to presence. Roll your strength.
All right. Strength is 10.
+0. Average strength and your toughness.
Ooh, not bad. All right. That is a 15.
+2 toughness.
Can't complain.
Go ahead and roll a D8.
That's a 3.
So you have 5 hit points, and roll a D2.
That's a 1.
You have 1 omen. Also a bit more fun. Something else we can do here. Sorry, I forgot to do. Do you guys want to roll for terrible traits and broken bodies?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. So Grin, go ahead and roll me 2 D20s and tell me the individual results.
An 18 and a 14.
18 and a 14. You are deceitful and suspicious. And roll a D20.
15.
15. One of your hands lacks a thumb and index finger and grips like a lobster. But that's okay. The knife is nailed to it anyway, so I don't care too much about that. And roll another D20, please.
17.
17. You stutter when you lie.
This is not a good combination.
Hex, what name did we roll up for you earlier?
Kill knocked?
Oh, yes, Kilnock. I've had that name come up before. Kilnock. In the last game or the one before that? The last one, I think. Okay, cool. Now, where are we with you? We want to roll these things. Go ahead and give me 2 D20s.
I got a 14 and a 17.
You are suspicious and bitter.
Right? Suspicious and bitter.
Another D20.
That's an 8.
You are hauntingly beautiful and unnervingly clean.
Okay.
And roll another D20.
7.
A 7. Your
Yeah.
best friend is a skull. You carry it with you and tell it everything, and you trust no one more. Unfortunately, you don't have it with you in the cell, so you don't know where your best friend is.
Do I get weapons nailed to my hand?
Yes, a D8, please. Thank you.
Okay. 7.
7. You have automatic crossbows nailed to each hand. They do
Ooh.
a D8 damage. They each have 10 bolts. I'm going to guess that they're loaded up with some kind of a multi-clip magazine because there's no way you'd be able to reload. They also do a D4 if you use them in melee.
All right. D4, melee, missing skull friend. Got it.
This is fun. Okay, Neil. Let's roll your character. Agility.
Certainly. 5, 1, 2, 8.
8. So that is a -1 agility.
Mm-hmm.
Roll your presence, please.
1, 3, 5, 9.
±0 on presence there. Strength.
7.
7. -1 on strength. And your toughness.
14.
+1 on toughness. Roll a d8.
6.
You have 7 hit points.
Mhm.
A d2.
2.
You have 2 omens.
Mhm.
Roll 2 d20s.
19. 15.
You are wasteful and ruthless.
Mhm.
Another d20.
17. I'm wasting all these bloody rolls. 17.
You have a resting maniac face. Making friends is hard.
Okay.
And roll another d20 for your bad habit.
7.
7. Roll again, because somebody else already got that.
4.
4. You are a gambling addict. You must make a bet every day. If you lose, you must raise and bet again until you win. Yikes. And roll d8 for your weapons. Let's see what you have nailed to your hands. Oh, and your name, too. Sorry, d2 and a d8 for that. Or d6 and a d8.
So for weapons, 5.
5. You have warhammers nailed to your hands. They do d6
All right.
damage. D6 warhammers.
Yep.
And
Name.
6 and a d8.
So
Yeah, d6 and a d8.
D6. So 1 on the D6.
Mhm.
8 on the D8.
Your name is Daeru. D-A-E-R-U.
D-A-E-I-U. Okay, got it.
Daeru. Did we miss anything on that? Did we get everything? Yeah, we got everything.
Think
So
so,
we go
yeah.
to Kevin. Kevin, let's roll your agility.
I got a 12.
That's a 0. Presence.
All right. 9.
9 is a 0. Strength.
Another 9.
0. And toughness.
That third 9. So zeros all the way.
0's all the way. There is nothing. You are completely average on your ability scores.
Yep.
Give me 2 d20s. Let's find out what's interesting about you.
All right. A 12 and a 16.
You are worried and cowardly.
Awesome.
Give me another d20.
All right. 5.
You are starved, so you're gaunt and pale. Give me another d20.
15.
You consistently lose important items and forget vital facts. That's your bad habit.
All right.
And roll d8 for your weapons. Did you have a name or did you?
I rolled Clort. Klort.
Perfect. Clort. Let's see what kind of weapons you have nailed to your hand. So we got knives, crossbows, warhammers.
I rolled a 5.
Roll again. Just 'cause somebody else
All
got
right.
that. Let's give everybody unique weapons. Why not?
7.
7. Roll again. Sorry.
6. No problem.
You have flails. There you go. D8 damage.
Hey.
Hey, congratulations, you're the cover art.
Somebody should write this down.
Yeah.
It has knives.
I feel it.
Kilnock has crossbows. Oh yeah, they're automatic crossbows. That's duh. That's why they have D10 bolts. Yeah, it is loaded. Daeru has warhammers. And Clort has flails. Excellent. Is there anything else I need to do here? I don't think I need this for now.
Hit points and omens, I think.
Yeah, D8 for your hit points and a D2 for your omens. Thanks.
5
So you have
on
5
my
hit
hit points.
Yep, 5 hit
And
points.
my omens, I got a 2.
You have 2 omens.
Gonna need them.
Probably. So as far as your character's background and what they knew or did in life, you can reveal that in game as you wish. You don't have to know each other. If you want to know each other, if everybody's cool with that, you can, possibly, but you don't have to. You can be total strangers. It's a massive city. Oh, there is one other thing. Let me see here. We had 3 other players who were supposed to be here who couldn't make it. There are 6 cells. Okay, each of you guys, all 4 of you, roll a d6 and tell me what you rolled. So Neil,
1.
a 1. Falcon,
5.
5. Okay. Hex
4.
and Kev,
1.
1. Okay, so the highest was a 5, right? That was Hex.
I think I rolled a 5. I didn't make a note
Sorry.
of it.
Yeah, Falcon, you rolled a 1, right?
5.
Oh, you rolled a 5. Sorry, I'm getting them mixed up. The order's changed, I think, because the camera's changed on my screen. Sorry, you rolled a 5. Got it. Okay, so you actually have, well, we'll start this way first. A stinging headache, no memory of how you got here. You wake up with a pair of weapons nailed to your hands. You're in a cell, a pretty small cell. They're about 10 feet deep by 5 feet wide. Probably about a 10-foot ceiling, I guess, so it's comfortable enough in that sense. There are slits lining the walls at your back. You can hear voices behind them. The doors to your cells are closed. You, however, let's see, that was Grin. You actually have somebody else manacled to you. They are deceased. Give me a D8 roll.
3.
3. Looks like a young woman, and she has short swords nailed to her hands, but she looks to have passed away recently. Rigor mortis hasn't set in or anything. And the other 2 cells, since there's only 4 of you, there are 2 more cells. There are a total of 6 cells, 3 on each side. There's it looks like a little 10-foot by 20-foot kind of corridor there that leads to the door over by the door, which we'll just say geographically what's called east. The other 2 cells do have dead bodies in them as well. One has an older man with Zweihanders nailed to his hands, and the other one has a mature-looking woman with crossbows attached to her hands, and they also seem to be deceased. Now, let's, for flavor purposes, just one by one, we'll start with Neil with Deru. Do you want to just tell us what Deru looks like? Now, obviously, like I said, you have none of your equipment, other than these weapons nailed to your hands, and whatever clothing you happen to be wearing whenever you were knocked out. What do we see when we see Deru?
Deru is lean, sinewy, missing most of his teeth, and stark naked. And the sort of slightly chilly temperature in the cell has reduced his genitalia to a little walnut whip.
Nice.
He is now absolutely convinced that the world has in fact ended, and he is in some kind of purgatory.
Oh, a shame. Didn't make it into paradise or Valhalla or whatever it's called. I can't think of what it's called off the top of my head.
Well, he's
Seven
not
shores.
surprised. He's not surprised about that.
Very good. All right, Kevin, then why don't you tell us what Clort... Oh, and you have Warhammers nailed to your hands, right, Deru? Yeah?
I do, yes.
Cool. What do we see when we see Clort, Kevin?
Clerk comes to and sees the 2 flails nailed to each of his hands, and he immediately starts fretting and like trying to wipe them off like it was a bad dream. He's very pale and malnourished. Not quite sure how he got here, but he has like scrawled across his chest a tattoo of the how do you pronounce her name? Yosilfa.
Yosilfa, yep. Yosilfa.
Yosilfa.
Josiffa.
In like coal, he's like etched her name across his chest. Like he's at a like a football game. Like a fanboy of hers. Uh, just confused and trying to come to grips with this situation.
Excellent. All right, then. What about Grin?
All right. Grin, like the rest of you, looks like he's probably malnourished and seen better days. I guess we all have. His hair is stringy and greasy, almost on purpose, as though if he ever did get a chance to have a bath, he avoided washing his hair. He's not surprised to be in prison, but these circumstances are peculiar. So immediately he checks his pockets to make sure that the corpse that's chained to him didn't rob him, and then he checks her pockets.
Okay, so as you're going to check your pockets, give me a what's the roll here? Yeah, just go ahead and give me an agility test. Now, this would
Yeah.
be normally a pretty routine thing, but it's going to be difficulty 10 because of the fact you have knives stuck to your hands.
Okay. D20 plus my agility, right?
Mhm.
That'll be 14.
Okay, yep, you're able to get into your pockets. You kind of cut your pants up a bit in the process since these
Oh, that's right.
daggers are
I'm sure I
nailed to your
stabbed
hands.
myself.
No, you managed not to hurt yourself. That's what I had you roll for. But
Okay.
you do tear up your pants pretty bad, and you realize, yes, you've definitely been robbed because none of your possessions are on you. And you go to check the girl. Same. She's also been robbed. And yeah, your let's see, it'd be your left hand is on a manacle that's attached to her right hand. Okay, and there's a chain length of about maybe 3 feet.
All right. Well, yeah, her hand's coming off.
But she has no
And,
possessions either on her. So you start sawing off her hand at the wrist or something?
yeah,
Yeah,
of
you can do that.
course. Looking around for who might have stolen my 2 copper pieces.
Excellent. And then we go to Kilnock. What do we see with Kilnock?
Well, Kilnock is also naked. She looks like Red Sonja as drawn by Frank Frazetta or Boris Vallejo. And she just looks merely annoyed, as if deep down inside she always knew that one day she'd wake up naked in a cell with crossbows nailed to her hands. And I guess today's the day.
Today is indeed, unfortunately, the day. All right. And yeah, the voices continue to be heard, kind of like whispering and occasionally giggling, especially behind yours. Kilnuck, you definitely hear some like lecherous, almost like exultations coming from behind that wall through those slits. Somebody's obviously peeping in on you.
Well, she's not meek. She's going to address these peeping toms and demand to know why she is imprisoned here.
You just talking out loud.
Yeah. Excuse me.
You just continue to chitter. You can't see through the slits really, they're too small, but it must be.
I know
dark on
you
the
can
other
hear
side.
me.
This area, by the
Well,
way, is lit by very dimly, I should say, as well, by 2 torches. One on the kind of western wall, and one on the eastern wall, kind of just above, like would it be above, like more beside the door, on the handle side. So, but no responses come. You just continue to hear the whispers and the chitters and the.
how big are these slits?
Pretty thin, like less than an inch. Maybe
How
maybe a centimeter to 2 centimeters wide.
ooh. 2 centimeters. So I'm thinking my crossbow bolts are probably a greater diameter than that.
The bolts themselves, yes, the tip would go in, but yeah.
Well, I'm not wasting a bolt on just the tip, but I don't know. Is it like stone? Does it look like if I
Yeah, it's
worried
stone.
at it, I
It's
could
stone.
get it a little bit wider?
No, you could probably see through it if you put your eye up to it.
Well, that'll have to do. I carefully peer through the hole, ready to jump back if somebody tries to stick a sewing needle at me or something.
Yeah, you're looking and it's really dark, and you think you might see some kind of movement or something, but as you're kind of looking through, roll a d4 for me.
D4. I rolled a 4.
A 4?
Yes.
Take 4 points of damage as the dagger comes through and stabs you in the eye.
That's lovely.
It
Well,
is your left eye. How many hit points did you have?
I had 5. Now
Okay,
I
you
have
have 1 now.
1.
Got it. Cool. So you get stabbed in the eye. I would assume you're probably screaming in pain and rolling back from the door. And now you hear laughing on the other side.
Yeah, she might try
You
to
guys
be
will all
tough
hear this
for a few
commotion too.
seconds, but that won't last.
There are walls in between the cells, but I don't know which cell who's in, but you definitely at least hear, and somebody would definitely be in the cell across from her and be able to see her as well. Let's see which one of you it is. I'll just randomly determine. It is Clort is in the cell across from Kilnock and sees this kind of occur.
And Clort will move away from the slits in his chamber, kind of like hugging
Closer
the
to the
wall
door.
aside from
Closer to
them.
the door.
Yeah.
Okay.
Seeing a body as well. There's a body attached to me as well.
No, she was the only one I rolled. Or not. No, Grin was the only one with the body. Sorry. Attached.
Okay. Yeah. So my hands are free from a
Because I had
body.
7 prisoners and only 6 cells, so like fuck it, I'm gonna put one in.
Yeah. So uninhibited, I would just kind of move away from the slits, seeing the damage done to this beautiful one-eyed damsel.
Blood pouring down her face now.
Can I try to pull out the arrow with my forearms?
It's not an arrow. It was a dagger. It
Oh,
just
a
came
dagger.
through it, stuck you, and came back in. You know.
Okay. Well, at least I don't have a projectile sticking out of my
No,
eye socket.
No. But you can only see out of one eye now, so you probably increased difficulty by 2 on any sight-based checks, I'd imagine.
Like firing a crossbow.
Not necessarily. You can shoot from the hip. Yeah. Now, if you're shooting down range and trying to take your time to aim, yeah, you're not going to. Although having one eye,
it depends on what your
having one eye
dominant
might
eye
actually be better,
was.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I don't think so. Just like things like perception to see, notice something or something, So what are you guys doing?
Well, I'm definitely moving away from the slit.
Welcome, honored guests. Drink and rest, watch and jest. We'll shake you to the core with blood and gore in today's game of Death Galore. And you hear cheering now coming from the other side of those wall slits. You hear people. You hear drunken-sounding men and women, like shouting and applauding.
Clort's just getting nervous, just really nervous.
I'm definitely feeling superstitious or suspicious and bitter about this whole situation.
All right. Well, Grin's not going to waste any time. Once he gets this, gets through the meat, gristle, and bone of this forearm attached to him, he's going to get to work on the locked doors. I don't think he's a stranger of trying to pick a jail cell lock. And fortunately, he's got a couple daggers nailed to his hands.
Indeed, he does. So you can go up and try to pick the lock on the jail cell.
Sure thing.
So that would be an agility test. I'm going to call this a pretty simple agility test, but it's going to go up by 2 because of the situation, the nailed weapons. So difficulty 12, agility roll.
I have an 18.
Yes. Okay. So you go up there with your daggers, and yeah, I mean, once you cut her hand off at the wrist, you could slip the manacle right off. You don't have to have her still attached to you, weighing you down even more than the daggers you
I'm
already
not
have.
picky.
You've got the manacle still, though. You do have a chain, like a 3-foot chain manacle hanging off your left wrist. But you go up and yeah, you stick the daggers in, and it opens real easy, pops right open, and you realize it wasn't locked.
All right.
Oh, looks like we have some suspicion already, folks.
Wah wah.
Only movement in 4 of the
I-
cells. Looks like one's companion didn't make it. Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, I glanced nervously back at the wall with the holes in it, and then just kind of go out in the main thoroughfare and try to get a sense of where I'm at.
So you are, like I said, these cells are each about maybe 5 feet by 10 feet deep. The hall, if you want to call it that, there's 3 cells on each side of this room. Let's call it north and south sides of the room, just for purposes of trying to get some kind of bearings. The hall in between the 2 rows of cells is about 20 feet wide, or 20 feet across, I should say, from cell to cell, and then it's 40 feet across, so that it goes about 30 feet across the cells, and then there's another little 10-foot alcove, and then there's a door there with a torch beside it, and there's a torch on the opposite wall as well. A wooden door, heavy wooden door. And of course, you see movement in a few of the cells. You would now be able to see Kilnock, probably just holding on to her wounded eye with blood squirting out between her fingers. But you'd also see Daru and Clort in their cells, and you see the other 2 dead people in their cells. Did I say there was an old man with Zweihanders and an old woman with crossbows? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Hey, let me out. Let me out.
Just kind of like stay away from that cell and edge around it. Don't bleed on me.
I'm going to try and push my cell door open, just because how ironic would it be if it wasn't locked?
Yeah. Yep. The door opens right up.
Yeah, of course it does. All right.
Come on out, players. The fun is to be had in the other rooms. We wouldn't lock you in a cell and just watch you slowly starve to death, would we? And everybody starts laughing. You hear, like I said, there's obviously some kind of an audience watching you from within the walls, you assume.
So it's Daru is out in the hallway, right?
No, that was
Daru is on his hands and knees. His hands inelegantly, given the hardware attached to them, trying to cover his eyes, fervently wishing he'd paid more attention to Sister Marcuse's prayers in the orphanage, and trying desperately to remember them and failing.
It was Kilnock who walked out into the corridor with you, Grin.
Well, I'm Kilnock, so who else is here? Is it Grin or Clort?
It's
Oh,
Grin.
I'm sorry. It's Grin. Sorry. I haven't got your voices down yet. Apologies. Yeah, Grin and Kilnock are in the corridor. Clort is still in his cell, as far as you know.
Well, I don't know Grin's name, but I'm going to approach and say, "Sir, what have you done for us to deserve this?"
Grin's backing away. Under other circumstances, I might invite this kind of attention. However, you seem to be bleeding profusely from your head.
And she does have a crossbow, an automatic crossbow, nailed to each of her hands, too.
Oh God.
May I wipe off the blood on your hair?
Don't touch me. All right.
Well, get me out of here then. I do not wish to be bleeding.
Get you out of here.
Yes,
Get
sir.
me out of here.
You don't know where we are?
I have no idea.
What sort of rescuer are you?
He's like looking around to see who you're talking to.
Clark
Well,
will go up to his cell door and meagerly press his body against it, kind of leaning like frailly against it, just to see if his weight will push the door open.
No, it doesn't.
He's so average that.
Let me out!
Ugh.
sorry, sir. I would love to, but I have crossbows nailed to my hands, so I am afraid I cannot manipulate your door.
Well, I just kind of like haplessly leaning against it, like with the flail heads like dragging on the ground with my arms like straight down, just kind of like with my shoulders and my face pressed against the bars, just like, please, I can't open the gate.
Oh God. All right. I'll let you out of here. But I swear to God, you hit me with a flail, I'm going to be really upset.
I can
So I'll
hardly
pick-
lift these things.
Having no idea that the door is unlocked, I'll try to pick it. And there's a 16 agility check to pick the probably
unlocked as
unlocked
well.
jail cell.
It's unlocked
Yes.
as well. It opens.
I like fall out of the door,
I fancy
just onto the
myself
ground.
quite a rogue that I've been able to pick these locks. All right, I guess we better get that guy with the warhammer.
Yes, he looks like he'll be very useful. We must certainly free him.
I mean, we're gonna have to fight our way out of here. I don't see how this ends any other way.
Ladies and gentlemen, who knew that opening a simple door would be such a difficult task? Might be a short night tonight. If they don't come out soon, we'll have to go in for them. And you hear people, yes, go in, go in, go in, go in.
I do not like the sounds of that.
Okay, well, I rolled an 8 to pick the lock of the door where the guy with warhammer's at, but I'm sure it opens anyway.
It opens anyway, yeah.
It's locked. So I'll just put that feather in my cap too and figure that I was successful.
Yes, you've now successfully unlocked everyone's doors. Let everyone out, except of course for Kilnak, who opened her own door.
All right, you all owe me.
What? I opened my own door, sir.
Okay, yeah, just don't touch me. You're covered in blood.
I cannot touch you because my hands are nailed to weapons.
In fairness, you've got some blood on you too, Grin. You did have to cut a woman's arm off, right?
Yeah, well, I'm talking about her blood.
Fair.
I pull myself off the ground, and we see an exit to this
Yeah, there's one door.
corridor that we're in.
Yep.
Well,
Look wearily in that direction. I guess that's where they're coming from.
oh, we should either go through that door or go through that door. But who can open it? Are there hinges? Do we see hinges on the
You can
door?
still use your hands, right, guys? Mechanically, it just means you have a +2 to difficulty whenever you need to use your hands, right? So you can still fumble around and manipulate things. It's just more difficult, you know?
Got it.
Imagine, I don't know, have you ever tried to like carry a coffee cup in one hand, your other hand's carrying something heavy, and you open the door with your hand with the coffee cup. So, do you ever do that? Am I the only stupid
Oh,
ass that
that's
does that
definitely
shit?
at least a
Yeah.
-2.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah,
That's the word.
that's
That's what I
a
kind of
good
liken it
agility
to.
check.
I nail my coffee cup to my hand every morning.
That's a
That's
good
exactly
idea.
what that's.
If it was ever filling, I would, but yeah.
All right. Well, it
Also,
looks like
mechanically, just let you know, since you are all loose now with weapons nailed to your hands, if you decide to attack, since you do have a weapon in each hand, the nice little optional thing here, if you attack with both weapons on the same turn, you can make 2 attacks, but your defense and attack both go up in difficulty by 2, right? So it just means it's harder to hit, and it's easier for somebody to hit you if you decide to attack with both weapons at the same time in the same turn. Also, there is one bonus move, especially for this scenario, written by the authors. The author is Pablo de Pina, by the way. It's called the Thou Twirl Me Fair Round, Dearest Fair Round, Like a Breaking Wheel, Fair Round, Round, Round move,
Okay.
which is a tornado of death depending on your weapon. Roll to attack everyone around you. Presence DR 14. After every spin, if you fail, you get dizzy and roll a d4 to see what happens. You could move randomly, you could hit yourself, or you could just have a negative to your defense from being dizzy. All right, just so you know, if anybody decides they want to become a whirlwind of death later.
Yeah. Is that something we can only do
Noted.
once or as many times as we want?
You do as many times as you want, it's just you become dizzy afterwards,
Yep. Well, that's good to know.
I assume you can't.
Whirlwind of
I guess
death.
when you're dizzy, you can't do it, right? You have to wait till the dizziness passes.
Oh, dizziness like the way you would get from a scroll if you miscast.
I don't remember how that works. I've had very little scroll use in my game. Becomes dizzy for an hour and cannot use powers during that time. Oh yeah, yeah, something like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, do we see hinges on our side of the door?
I wouldn't say it lasts an hour though in combat. I would say you just have to make a roll, presence roll every round until you succeed to become undizzy. And what was your question? I apologize.
Oh, if we see hinges on the side of the door.
Um, yeah, there are hinges on the side of the door.
Oh God! So it opens inward. This is not up to code. Jeez. Who wants to open this door? You're not going to make me do it, are you guys?
Clort is not trying to be the first one through this door.
Well, folks, don't say we didn't warn them. Go in and get them, boys! And bam, the door slams open inwards. It doesn't look like it was locked either.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and you can see on the other side there's a much larger room. And you can see standing outside the doorway. How many did I roll here? Where is it? Yeah, there are 5. They're just listed as prisoners. They have no armor. They're armed with like nailed clubs and knives. And 2 cage fighters who one of them has 2 swords and one of them has 2 axes. They're also not wearing armor, but they have a maniacal look on their face. Yeah, and they're just like outside the door getting ready to charge in. We're going to go straight into combat. Obviously, they're not going to all be able to charge in here at a time because there are 4 of you in here. At the most, 4 more people could get into this corridor before people start piling into cells anyway. So let's see. We never determined who was standing closest to the door, did we?
I think we
Arguing over who
determined who was
wasn't.
furthest away.
Yeah.
Who's furthest
Yeah, I
away?
think we're jockeying for position on who's farther away from the door at this point.
Well, Deru has only just sort of stood up and sort of sticking his head gently out of his cell door down the corridor.
Yeah, naked
That's
guy in
fair.
a cell.
Okay. Let's see here. And Grin just opened that up for him, so I'm going to say, yeah, I would say the 2 closest then to the doorway are going to be Kilnock and Clort. So let's see here. I'll have one of you guys roll for the initiative. Neil, you go first. Go ahead and roll initiative. D6 for the
2.
I'm going to use side initiative 2. That
Yep.
means the enemies go first. So given the layouts of here, I'm going to say only 2 of them can get into the room at a time right now. So basically, one is going to attack Clort and one is going to attack Kilnuck. For your own visualization, you can imagine they've kind of got the door. Well, I mean, it's Kilnuck and Clort, then these two guys attacking them, and then the door. And it's going to be the cage fighters attacking first, of course, because the prisoners aren't as brave or as maniacal. Okay, so they get 2 attacks each, actually. So we'll start with Kilnuck. That is Mike Hex. Kilnuck, go ahead and roll your defense, please. So defense is modified by your agility, I believe.
Oh no, that is a 5.
Oh, okay. The first roll hits you. And roll a second one.
My second defense is a 1.
Is a 1.
Oh.
That's really bad, dude. right.
Since I have two omens, I'd like to spend one at this point to allow him to re-roll at least one of those.
Yeah, you can spend one to let him re-roll the 1, probably, since that's a critical hit. Yeah.
Well, I rolled a 2 and then it was modified to a 1 by my agility. So is that still a...
Oh, no. A natural 1, I'm sorry, is a critical failure. So, but you can still re-roll. If he's going to spend an omen for you to re-roll it. So you can just re-roll, you might succeed on your defense. Go ahead. So yeah, that would not have
I
been fair.
re-rolled and I rolled a 2 again.
Wow.
Modified to a 1
Okay.
with my agility.
You take 1 point of damage from that sword hit.
I'm at 0.
Okay, you go down. Broken bodies.
Oh, that was early.
Roll a d4.
That is a 1.
You fall unconscious. You will be unconscious for 1 round. And then you'll awaken. So you're only going to be unconscious for a round. He hits you with the sword up the side of the head, the side with the bad eye, kind of bloodies your head a bit, maybe gives you a little concussion or whatever, knocks you out from you're unconscious, drop to the ground. His second attack whiffs over you because you're already on the ground. Then the other one was attacking Clort. Clort, give me a defense roll.
All right,
Difficulty is
everything
10,
is
by the way.
flat. I rolled a 2.
Okay, first one hits. Roll another one.
A 3.
Wow, this is impressive.
I would like to re-roll my
This might be the
first.
shortest adventure ever.
Yeah, I want to spend an omen
Okay, to reroll.
to re-roll the 2,
Go ahead.
and that's a 16.
Okay, so only 1 hit you. So the one he
Yep.
hit you with 1 axe for 4 points of damage.
Ugh, I have hit point.
Say again?
I have 1 hit point.
Oh, okay, cool. Gotcha. Sorry, my cat's running around like an asshole. I don't know. What do you want, kitty? You want some attention or something? What do you want?
Well, cats do that.
She always does it when I'm recording. Okay. So
I have the same problem.
that's the bad guy's turn. The cage fighters are in here with you. The prisoners are still staying out in the other room because there's not enough room for them all to come charging in here at the moment. Anyway, now it's the good guy's turn. So since they're engaged directly in combat, I'm just going to let Kilnuck and Clort. Well, Kilnuck, you are unconscious for this round. You'll become conscious next round. Clort, you can act.
Clort taking the severe amount of damage, bleeding probably arterially, is going to try to lift his flails off the ground by spinning his feet like quick succession, just turning his feet around, and he's going to try to swing both of his flails in a whirlwind maneuver.
Let's do it. Roll.
Just panicking.
So okay. Anyway, you hit everyone around you. Fortunately for Grin, he's at the cell door that Daru is in, so you're not at danger of hitting any of your allies. And Kilnuck is on the ground, so you're not going to hit her either. So go ahead. You get to make an attack roll against each of these guys.
All right, my first roll is a 13.
Okay, that's a hit.
Second roll is a 5.
A 5. Roll damage for the first one that did hit.
It's an 8 for my flail. I rolled a 7.
I've got a 2 for his damage reduction. He takes 5. So we got Cage Fighter 1, and Cage Fighter 2. That was Cage Fighter 1, takes 5 points of damage. Okay, still up. They're both.
Now,
the others
do I
are
have to
moving.
roll for
Now you roll your
dizziness?
presence. Yeah, roll your presence. Difficulty rating 14.
8.
8. Okay, so you failed. Roll D4.
4.
You have a +2 to your defense difficulty rating for the next turn.
All right, I'm just spinning around wildly.
Yeah, you're kind of you're dizzy now. Actually, you're not spinning anymore because you did the presence thing. So, and you failed. So now you're just kind of what's that called? Wobbling. Who wants to go next? It could be Grin or Grin. You're technically closer. Dayru's still in the cell.
Ooh,
Two cage fighters.
yeah.
One's got 2 swords. One's got 2 axes. The one with the 2 swords is wounded, but still standing right over Kilnock, who he just dropped. And then there's the other one with the 2 axes standing next to him. They're
And
currently
Klort's
engaged with Klort, of course.
kind of going a little wild with those flails, though. I don't know if I want to get up in that.
Okay.
I guess he kind of just does his spin move or whatever and gets out of breath.
Yeah, I'm
and
just
then
kind of standing there, like bewildered and dazed.
Yeah.
Okay, then I'll seize the initiative and give this wounded guy a stab, like hopefully like right under the rib cage, take him out.
Sure. If this was a cartoon, there'd be like birds tweeting and flapping around
Yeah,
around Klort's head.
just with more blood in this
Yeah.
version.
Go ahead and make your knife attack on the sword guy. Yeah.
Yeah, it's knives. It's going to be strength.
Oh yeah, it's modified by strength. So you're just doing the one attack, right?
Well, let's do 2. I'm going to give them both a
Go for
stab.
2.
So I'm
So you get a
minus
+2 to your
2.
difficulty. No, it's just +2 to
Okay.
the difficulty rating. So instead of going for a 10, which is this guy's defense, you need a 12.
Okay, so here's the wounded guy. 13 on the dice, which is my score. I don't have a bonus.
That's a hit.
And the other guy is a 6 on the dice.
Okay, so let's roll the damage on the wounded guy. Damage reduction of 1. D4 for knives.
Yeah, all the
4
birds
damage.
like swarming around my head have one bleeding eye because I'm just enamored with the beauty of Kilnock,
Right.
and like projecting that onto my dazed state.
What'd you roll in your damage?
I shivved him for 4 damage.
Okay, and I reduce it by 1, so he takes 3. That's enough to drop him. He dies. You jab it right up under his ribs, and he kind of like spits up a bit of blood, maybe on you, and falls to the ground. He's dead.
Okay.
The one with the axes is still standing, however. And Dayru, it's your turn. Do you want to do anything?
Well, as far from Dairy's perspective, what he's actually watching here is a bunch of undifferentiated people, none of whom he knows, all of whom appear to have weapons nailed to their hands, hacking at each other for no discernible reason. He is not going to hurl himself into this fight. No.
Fair enough. Okay, next round. Mike Grin. That's the name I'm looking for. Grin. Go ahead. Roll d6.
4.
4. So this time you guys go first. Grin, you can go first. I'll let you go.
Great. We're just going to do 1 dagger this time. And I'm aiming for the nastiest spot I can find. And I miss horribly. Roll to 5.
All right, you miss. Kilnock, you come 2. Roll a d4.
All right, D4. I've got a 3.
You have 3 hit points when you come 2.
That's
Come 2.
3
There's
better
fights
than
going
0.
on right over you, but your weapons are
That's the
stuck to your hands.
best case scenario in a worst case scenario.
Do I see the ruffian who struck me with his sword?
Yes, he's laying on the ground next to you, dead.
Good. I'm going to step over him, and I'm moving forward.
You can get up, and you're standing real close to the guy, so Are you going out into the next room, or are you gonna attack this guy with the axes who's still in here?
Is the Axeman behind me or in front of me?
More or less, kind of right next to you, in front of you, I guess, in reference to the door. So yeah.
Okay, well, if he's standing between me and the door, he's getting a bolt.
Go for it.
That's modified by agility too, right?
It's presence for ranged.
Oh, okay. Though that's an 11.
An 11. Actually still hits him because his defense is 10 because he's a berserker basically swinging 2 weapons. So give me your damage roll. I'll roll his reduction, 1 point.
I rolled a 2.
Thanks, Cat. Appreciate that. So he takes 1 point of damage. Okay, and mark off one of your bolts. You have 9 left in that particular weapon.
Got it.
Oh, yeah, you rolled a D8 for your damage, right?
Yes.
Cool, just checking. All right. So that's Kill Knock out of the way. Kill Knock has acted. Grin has acted. Clort, you're right there with the flails.
Am I coming out of my dazed state?
Yeah.
My
it says
diseased state?
just- yeah, I'd say so. You can
All right.
do it again if you want.
Yeah, I'll
It's
just
just
take one arm and try to lift the flail and smack this next guy under the chin.
Go for it. Roll your attack roll. His defense rating is 10.
All right. Got a 16.
A 16. That's a hit. Damage. He reduces
Another
by
7.
2, so he takes 5 more. He's still up, but he's hurt. He took a bad hit.
So I take out a couple of his teeth and just try to get a grip on what's going on.
Let me think here. Does he have morale? He does have morale. Let me double check something. All right. He turns and runs out into the other room. He's
Ha
fleeing. Deru?
Do I remember rightly that there were doors at both ends of this corridor outside the cell block? Did I remember that description correctly?
Just one door. Just one door.
Damn, I was hoping to creep out of the other one. Well, this is going on.
It was
just one door.
It
And
was
as
mentioned, but
the
it
cage
was
fighter kind of
robust.
goes running out through the doorway, you hear the announcer go, "Oh, we have a coward! He's abandoned his post! Get him!" And you see as he runs into the other room, you see 2 of the servants that were kind of posted up beside the door waiting for somebody to come out, like kind of grab him and push him towards the center of the room, and then he just disappears from sight. You can't. There are like 5 other prisoners or some sort in there, so you can't necessarily see what happened to him, but you just see them kind of push him towards the center of the room, and then he's gone. Give me presence rolls, actually. You can all roll presence. Let me know if anybody beats a 14.
got it on the dot. 14.
I beat it.
Okay.
18.
So yeah, as they push him out of sight, you do hear him kind of go, "Whoa!" And
Oh,
then you
boy.
don't hear anything.
And we got a little bit of we saw a couple guys posted up on either side of the door going into that room.
Yeah, there are. I think there was 5 other guys moving around in there.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
like I said, they are ragged, pitiful-looking prisoners. They actually have weapons nailed to their hands as well, knives and clubs. Sorry, I said clubs with knives. I see here now. They're nailed knives or clubs. Sorry. Yeah, so they've got, some of them have baton-like things nailed to their hands. Some of them have knives nailed to their hands. There's about 5 of them moving around in there, and they just tossed the other cage fighter. You would guess into some kind of pit or something.
I find this distasteful.
Do you now?
I very much would like to not be here.
I think you speak for all of us.
However,
Yeah, why don't you put some
shall
pants
we
on?
escape? How can I put on pants with crossbows
One
nailed to my
foot in
hands?
front of the other is what they say. There's only one way to go. You can hear
Yeah.
people. Now you hear people kind of booing a little bit in the background. Like, "Get on with it. Come on. Move on. You haven't even left the first room, losers. Sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice.
I'm marching forward as if I'm, looking to speak to the manager, and whoever mocked me is getting bolted.
Who mocked you?
Well, somebody did. I mean, she hears this voice, correct?
Oh,
But she
well, yeah,
can't
yeah,
tell
yeah.
where
You
it's
hear
coming
these
from.
voices, but you have no idea where they came from. I understand. Sorry, I didn't know what you meant. Sorry. Yeah, so you go marching into the room.
I'm very insulted. Yeah,
Yes.
I'm
So you go marching into the room looking for the manager and whoever's hurling insults at you, and these other 5 prisoners turn on you to attack. So roll initiative.
for the group. A
Yes.
D6.
Yeah, yeah.
That is a 1.
A 1.
Yes.
Okay, bad guys go first. These 5 guys are going to try to grab you and toss you into the pit. There are 5 of them. They need to grab you, they
Yeah.
need to carry
Yeah.
you over, and they need to hurl you into the pit. So I'm going to say they need 3 successful hits to achieve all of that. So give me 5 defense rolls, if you would please, Kilnuck.
Certainly. Mm, mm. Defense is modified by agility?
Agility. Mm-hmm.
Oh dear, that's a 4 and 2 7s.
You rolled a 4 and 2 7s, so you rolled 3 agility tests, yeah?
Yeah, I rolled 3 20s at once, and that's what I got.
Do you have any omens left?
I do have 1 omen.
Do you want to re-roll one of those?
Yeah, I think I do. And I think I want to use another dice. I know that's superstitious, but hey, I rolled a 20 on this one, but that's
All right.
modified. Does that count as a crit? I mean, you can't
Only
crit
if
on
it's
defense,
only if
right?
it's not modified. Yeah, you can. You can
Okay,
crit
well,
on
it's a
defense
20
modified.
modified down to 19. I don't know if that
Oh, it
counts.
was a natural 20 on defense. Okay, so a natural 20 on defense means the player character gets a free attack. So you get a free attack on that guy, on that third guy as he tries to grab you. So actually, by this point in time, they've already kind of grabbed you and they're dragging you over by the pit. You're near the edge of the pit, but then you manage to get an attack off of one of these guys. Roll it.
That is a 16 modified by agility
Hits.
is
Yep.
a 15.
Okay, damage.
All right,
He has no armor.
that is in 7.
You put the crossbow right up against his head, straight through the skull, and he drops dead. One of the prisoners is now dead. There's only 4 remaining. Prisoner 1, 2, 3, and 4, and 5. There's 5 of them. Sorry, there's 4 remaining. You just killed prisoner 3. 7 points damage. Okay. Carrying on, you still have 2 more of these guys. You need 2 more defense rolls.
All right, 2 defense rolls. Okay, 1 is a 9, 1 is a 17.
Okay, the 9 is a failure.
Is
You're out
that
of
the
omens?
last one that? Is that the last one they needed to throw
Yeah,
in the
yeah,
pit?
they're gonna throw in the pit.
All right, you can have my omen.
Oh,
Go ahead and
make another
re-roll
roll.
that 9.
Oh, come on. And it's only a 9. Man, I hate it. But I'm wasting everybody's omens.
So you hear the crowd cheer, yes, in the pit, sacrifice, sacrifice, right? And then you hear her kind of shout as they throw her into this pit. And it's not as far down as you might have thought. It's maybe 15, 20 feet tops.
That's
If
bad
that,
enough.
maybe 15 feet.
Getting thrown in a 20-foot pit's pretty bad.
Just stick the
It is enough
landing.
to take 6 points of damage from the fall.
All right, that's puts me at -3.
And as you hit the ground, 4 nobles come out of dark corners in the pit you've fallen out of with batons and start beating on your corpse and laughing.
Well, ain't that something?
But it's only 15 feet down. So you got that going for you.
Well, corpse implies dead, man. Should I just grab a book and roll up another?
So that was their action. Yeah, if you want to go ahead and roll up another, you can actually, because we still have those 2 other bodies themselves. We could say the 2 of them are still alive. Maybe the other girl's still alive too. She's just missing a hand. I don't know. We could use those as backup characters.
All right, I'm
So
going
you
to
wanna
take a
go ahead
minute
and
to
roll up
grab the
another
book.
one.
Carry
Could
on.
be an old man, an old woman, or a handless woman.
That's true. We did already kind of generate that, didn't we? There's a handless woman with one short sword and missing one of her hands. There's an old man with double Zweihanders, and then there's the older woman, the mature woman with she has crossbows as well, right? Wasn't it?
You gotta be a double Zweihander old man.
All the women got crossbows for some reason. I detect some kind of sexism going on.
this is,
So
this is,
that
I
was
think
the
there's
bad
some
guy's
other
turn.
HR
Now
violations
we go
going
to
on
the
here.
top of initiative. These guys are standing around the pit. Actually, they're not going to engage you at the moment. They just grabbed her and threw her in the pit, and they're standing around the pit, like looking down in there, kind of. And the crowd's going nuts. You hear people shouting and cheering. I mean, we're not talking like a crowd of like 5,000 people or anything, but dozens of people. You hear lots of voices. They sound drunk.
Yeah, I kind of wanted to use the diversion to make a dash across this room. I don't know what's in there, but hopefully I can
sure.
get to the other
Dash into
side
that
of
room.
whatever it is.
So as soon as you enter in the room, you're looking for exits from this room. There are two doors on
Yeah.
the eastern wall. You're coming through the northern wall. Oh wait, no, I said that was north, didn't I? Sorry. You're coming through the western door. Yeah, there's two doors on the northern wall. If I'm going to use a compass rose, I might as well get my own right. There we go.
Yeah, whatever's the closest door, that's what I'm going for.
The 5 prisoners also see you coming into the room and are going to try to attack you to throw you into the pits. Roll d6. Does anybody
Okay.
else run in with him, or do they leave him on his own?
As a gambling addict, pimp, and general lowlife, has Daru ever heard of this sort of pit fighting phenomenon?
Give me let's call it a presence test.
Sure.
Yeah, presence test.
No, he hasn't.
No, you haven't. But
No.
you're interested to. You're wondering what it's like on the other side of the wall.
So the corridor is now essentially
You want
empty.
you want to make a bet with Clort here whether or not Grin gets thrown in the pit?
I don't think I know him well enough yet to take him as on a gentleman's wager.
Fair
Let's
enough.
just see how this plays out. But yes, I will. Now that the immediate violence has subsided, I will sort of creep down to the end to the doorway and
Right,
just
you
sort of
can see what's happening with Grin.
yes,
Attack by
exactly.
these guys. What'd you roll for
Yes.
your initiative, Grin, on the d6?
Yeah. So before I divulge that, what would you say out of character my odds are here?
Your
Being a
odds?
betting man.
That depends on if the other guys come in to help you or if they leave you on your own.
I
5 guys
rolled
get
a
to
1.
attack you. Okay. Your odds aren't very good then.
Yeah, I just wanted to see if Neil gave me something favorable.
No.
I don't. Can you use omens to re-roll initiatives?
You can re-roll.
Hey,
your dice
I'm
roll.
quick.
Yeah.
I'm quick. I got.
Yeah, you can roll. You can re-roll any die roll.
It's up to you. It's up to you. You want an
right,
omen to
well,
re-roll the initiative? I've got
Yeah,
the last one.
All right, I'll
Go
take
for
it. I'll take
Do
it. Thank you. I got a 3.
That's still bad guys first.
Ah, which
All
is
right.
pissing these away.
Yep. All right. So make 5 defense rolls.
Good night. Okay.
Yep. First one?
Let's see, let's add my agility to it, right?
Yes.
I've got a 17.
Okay. That's successful.
22.
A 22?
A 10. Mm-hmm.
Was that a natural 20?
10. No.
Okay, cool. Got it. A 10? Okay,
I have
so
a +3.
grabbed you.
It's gonna be a 5.
Okay, they've dragged you over to the edge of the pit.
And an
I'll
18.
spend an omen.
And an 18, and they don't manage to throw you in then.
Oh, okay, good.
Great. So they've got you near the edge of the pit there now, and they're all kind of in melee with you, trying to get you in. They're trying to push you in, right?
Yeah. Well, do I get to do something?
Yeah, that's all the bad guys. So yeah, you can go first since you're in melee with them.
All right. Well, I'm gonna pivot, try to push one of these guys in.
All right, just try to push one of them in, and
Mm-hmm.
okay. Give
Well,
me
I guess with
give me
knives.
a combat roll.
8.
An 8?
Maybe not.
Okay, nope.
Yeah.
You miss. You're trying, but yeah, you failed. Deru or Clort?
Deru at this point, what can he? Okay, so let's just establish this. We've got a very large room. We've got 5 strangers throwing another stranger somewhere, and another stranger by the doorway with me. Is that right?
Yeah. Stranger by the doorway with you has flails attached to his hand. The stranger out there fighting with those 5 people had knives attached to his hand. He was the one who opened all the cell doors and let everybody out too, though. Just so you know, he's in
Yes.
trouble now.
Yeah.
Not that you necessarily care, but just in case you do care.
I'm in addition to being wasteful, I'm also ruthless. So,
Yeah.
So I guess what I'm looking for here is an exit, right?
There's only one from the room you're in, and that's.
Then I head straight for it while everybody else is occupied, as
Okay.
fast as I
Well,
can.
there's 2 doors from in that room. Then, yeah, there's 2 doors on the northern wall. There's one at the western edge of the northern wall, and there's one closer to the eastern edge of the.
So right is always right. So I suppose if I'm facing northeast and when.
Okay. Cool. So you go for the northeast door. Yeah.
Yep.
Excellent. So you rush over there. Let me see here. Give me a presence roll, please. And what weapons do you have attached to you?
Hammers.
Warhammers? Yeah, okay.
So the
I'm not gonna
presence
give you-
roll, otherwise unmodified, so 11 on the dice, unmodified.
11 on the dice. Okay.
Mhm.
The guys do see you go over to that door. Hey, there's another one. He's going for the door. And so now they're going to split up into at least 2 groups probably on their next action. But first, Clerk gets to go.
Clort, seeing the group split and seeing Deru move toward a possible exodus, is going to just start spinning both the flails again, just wildly moving toward the 2 approaching Deru, trying to get toward that exit.
Okay, well, right now the 5 of them are engaged with Grin by the edge of the pit. Do you want to attack them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but while the distraction of their attention is going to Deru, just moving in and trying to spin myself in that direction just wildly.
Start
Anybody in
spinning,
my
flails,
area is going to get
flails
hit. Yep.
twirling. Give me a combat roll, please.
2.
Okay, you missed the first guy. Second guy. Oh yeah, there's only 4 of them.
13.
That's right. We shot one through the head. 13. You hit number 2. Roll the damage, please.
2.
Okay. How many hit points do they have? He's actually still up. Wow. Third. The other guy. Yep. Next guy. He's technically the 4th one. The 3rd one got shot through the head.
All right, being 1, my 3rd attack is a 15.
15 damage.
7.
7. You killed that guy. And the last guy.
11.
11. You missed him.
I'll spend a last omen to reduce the DR by 4.
Okay, you hit him. Damage.
7.
You killed him. And Grin, roll defense. What'd you get? Sorry, you muted or something? You're muted.
15.
Okay, cool. You managed to dodge the flail as it flies over your head because he attacked you as well. You were in the area, but you dodged. So 2 of the guys dropped. The other 2, they do have a morale score. Holy shit! Look at that. But they failed. The other 2 stop and start groveling and say, "No, please, please! Oh God!" The only 2 remaining, "Don't kill us. We'll do anything. Please, please. We're prisoners here like you. Look!" And they're showing you the nailed
Hey.
weapons. There's only 2 of them left. So one of them has knives nailed to his hands. The other one has like these clubs.
Can I come in with my new character now?
Yes, now would be a good time. In fact, let's take a bio break. We can bring in your new character then at the beginning from there. We've got Deru at the door, unaccosted. Clort and Grin there standing by the edge of the pit. If you look down into the pit, you can just kind of make out the bottom. Looks a bit dusty. kind of earthen down there. It's not like a wooden floor or a stone floor like you have in here. And you can see the corpse of Kilnock lying down there, of course, too.
Hubba
you know,
hubba.
Oh, it's only 15 feet deep.
everything akimbo now, I guess. But yeah, she's quite dead. You don't see anything else down there. Maybe
All right.
a rapidly spreading blood stain around her. But yeah, let's take a bio break and then we'll come back.
Cool.
Yeah, it's an interesting little scenario. I guess it's based off a movie. I didn't know that originally when I first read it. But I guess there's a movie called Guns Akimbo that inspired the scenario. Or
That
something.
sounded a little familiar, but I've never seen it.
Neither have I.
Yeah, I think it stars Harry Potter, Daniel Radcliffe.
Yep. That is correct. It does apparently. But I've not seen it. I don't know if it's any good. And I don't know where the similarities end or begin. Well, I know where they begin because he's got guns obviously nailed to his hands in that movie, but I don't know why. If I'm being honest, no idea.
You know what it kind of reminds me of is, have you guys ever played X-Crawl?
No.
It's like a DCC variant by Brendan LaSalle, where it's kind of like a. I guess the conceit is that it's some sort of gladiator show that's being put on for people's entertainment, and there's kind of like that announcer who's like kind of egging people on, but that was something I always liked in old sci-fi action movies, like there's one that I think even Argento worked on that was just completely bananas. Like they were these gladiators on motorcycles that like had to fight each other to the death in this futuristic society, and they were just trying to break out. Let me see if I can Google it and remember the title.
I've left my phone inside. Oh well. Man, it's freaking cold out here again. Winter's back. Just in time for spring.
Yeah, we still got snow on the ground here.
Thank God we don't have that, but we don't get that much. So. Yeah, I imagine in there, the east, northeast, whatever America, you probably could have snow right up to May nearly, yeah, depending on the year.
Well, wait, I forget which one of us is in upstate New York. In Plattsburgh.
Well, it used to be, but yeah, they're suffering from the cold right now.
Well, geez, you were from you lived in Canada too, right?
No, just real close. There was one town between us and Canada. I mean,
just close enough to cross the border so you could drink at 18, right?
Yeah, and go to strip clubs and gamble and all that fun stuff. And they don't even care. Like, we used to go up there as soon as we could get our driver's license. Like, pre 9/11, the border was a little more relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember you didn't need a passport or anything until what, maybe 10 years
Drive
ago?
up.
Yeah.
Maybe a little longer. Yeah, but we used to go up with chalked IDs like as soon as we could drive and just have a good time.
Well, I think even New Jersey's drinking age was 18 until the 80s, early 80s. That's a little bit before my time, but not much. I'm 44.
Yeah, that's before my time. I'm 39.
Yeah, I think maybe New Jersey just didn't care. Because I remember being in Philly and you go to Jersey to go to after hours clubs because the police didn't care. There was no IDs checked or anything. I don't think any of those places were legal.
Man, when you're in Philly and you're like, where can I go where it's a little more lawless? Like,
Yeah, it's like 3:30
Yeah,
in
go
the
to
morning,
Jersey.
and I'm not done yet. Let's go to Jersey.
Who can drive?
Let's go to Jersey where they just don't care. Yeah, we got slammed in Dallas. Nobody has any weatherproofing or anything, so people's pipes were breaking and like whole apartment complexes were flooding. We got pretty screwed down here.
yeah, oh yeah. I mean, that was national news. Cripes. I mean, that's
That was
I can
crazy.
imagine people couldn't drive at all. Really? Like, I
It
mean, there are people that
was
probably never saw snow in their lives, right?
well, I think it's Dallas, right? So lots of pickup trucks and people that don't know how to drive them, like in snow.
Yeah,
So
they don't know how
nobody's.
to like go slow.
Yeah, they break when they start sliding and all that nonsense. And then you got jabronis going out on the ice, skating around, falling through because they don't know any better.
Sheesh.
They're just like ice. It's like an ice skating rink. It's like, no, it's not, idiot.
Yeah, but fortunately, I come from the land of upstate New York where we are accustomed to the winter weather and you know how to drive and deal with such things. So it's almost the same down here in PA. Like some people just don't know how to drive in it because it doesn't happen all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, I remember Philly in '96. I think that record still hasn't been beat. There was about 3 feet of snow. It was, I mean, it just covered everything for months.
I was going to college at University Arts downtown Philadelphia. Did you guys ever seen 12 Monkeys?
Sure.
Okay, so there's a scene in there when he comes up and it's just snow everywhere and there's no human life. It looked exactly like that. There's nobody. I was walking down Broad Street, like the main street of Philadelphia, like in the middle of the street. We're just throwing snowballs at each other.
Man, it was miserable. I got towed that winter.
Ugh.
That
It
we
was
we had an ice storm up north where you guys just got snow down here.
yeah, I missed a couple of days of work. It was pretty bad down here.
Yeah, we were without power for 2 weeks in '96.
Jeez, oh man.
That's rough.
Cooking frozen pizzas on a kerosene heater. It was crazy.
And that is crazy. We had some people like that where like the gas lines froze and everything because nobody has insulation on any of their pipes in Dallas. But our thing was like a week. That's about right. And there was enough people that had something, something going that they could get food over to other people.
Yeah, it was calling your friends and seeing who had a generator so you could go take a shower.
Yeah, for 2 weeks. That's like you're kind of getting into like FEMA territory where people's pantries are running dry and they're like freezing to death.
Yeah, it was crazy. Remorseless, undiscriminate Mother Nature.
Yeah, we were really lucky to like not get any power lines down a couple weeks ago when we got hit really bad here. That's what they were predicting, but we just got ice on the road. Not that big of a deal.
Yeah, we were like 4 hours from the entire Texas grid going down.
Oh my
Um,
god.
We had
Busy.
a whole bunch of wind energy, and all the turbines got frozen.
Yeah, I remember
So
reading about that. Yeah.
yeah. So the irony is they get like all these gas powered vehicles out there like trying to unfreeze the turbines that we could get wind power. The irony of Texas, the like oil
The
state,
oil, yeah.
getting losing their grid to wind power dropping.
No,
So
it was actually because the natural gas pipelines generators couldn't handle the change in demand.
oh, there you go. So do you know why? All I know is that we were like hours away from the whole grid going down. I guess there's something with like once the grid goes down, it's really difficult to get up. Like that could have been months of no power.
Yeah, it was because, of course, they had all this. When was it? It was. I think it was exactly 10 years ago when the previous big freeze hit, and the state, whatever it was, the state senate basically sort of had a report which said we need to winterproof everything, the whole infrastructure. And did they do it? No.
No. Yeah, go figure.
Yeah, you see stuff. I mean, when they dug into Katrina, Flint, all kinds of stuff, it's like people just kick the can down the road. Figure it's the next official's problem until
Yeah.
Infrastructure in the United States is a whole different thing.
All right. Properly refreshed. And ready to continue. Now, hopefully everybody is back.
yeah.
This guy's dead. Oh yeah, actually, I'm sorry. You wouldn't just see Kilnock at the bottom. You see Kilnock and the cage fighter, because that one cage fighter also was down there, the one that had the two axes that tried to run away.
And
so
some
you see
dudes
two
beating their dead corpses.
No, you don't see those dudes anymore. They're not there. You never saw those dudes, character-wise.
Okay.
So, Hex, you wrote up a new character. What'd you get?
Well, seeing as how so many of us are from Philly, I went with the name John, and I
Nice.
rolled on the D10 table for weapons, and I have femurs.
No,
Can't do.
No,
Okay, okay.
weapons-wise, you have a choice. You could play the old man who had the Zweihanders, the middle-aged woman with the crossbows. That was it, right? Or the girl who's missing a hand and has a short sword.
I'll be old man Zweihander.
Okay, cool. So you have the two dual Zweihanders. Those do D10 damage, but you also have a +2 difficulty for your combat rolls because they're
Understandable.
You've got a two-handed sword in each hand, nailed to each hand. So you come to in your cell. You hear, some shouting and stuff going on in the next room.
Keep it down over there. Oh my God, what happened to my hands? What's going on?
What'd you roll for hit points, by the way? Did you roll your stats and stuff?
Yeah, I got 4 hit points.
Cool. Got it. Zweihanders. So you guys now hear somebody shouting from the cells. Neil, when you get up to this door, Dayru, when you get up to the door, what do? You hear now shouting coming back from the cells. You see the two surviving prisoners are now surrendering themselves to Clort and Grin by the edge of the pit.
Fumble at the door to try and get the damn thing open.
Yep, you can fumble it open. It's not locked. It opens into, there's a room that is, I'm going to say, 20 feet deep going north from the doorway, and it looks like it's 30 feet wide, east to west. However, at the opposite end, you can see two cages, one of which is already open. These cages are a little bit bigger than the cages you were in. The one that's open looks like it's about 20 by 20 foot, and the other one's maybe 20. Oh no, the other one's 30. No, that can't be right. Sorry, one's 20 by 30 foot, and the other one's 30 by 30 feet. So the smaller one is open. That's the one on the left as you're facing the north wall. And you can see that there is a door on the northeast wall, northwest wall, heading west. Within that cage, the other cage is closed. The one that's open, you can see 3 cage fighters standing in, and they turn and look as you kind of come into this, as you're looking into this room. The one that's closed looks like it has 4 dogs, 4 hounds in it, of some sort, and you quickly notice, like at a glance, that there's something wrong with their tails. They have spiky tails.
The cell door that's open on my left.
Yes, across the room and on the left.
Yeah, does that cell door, is it open in or outward?
It opens inwards towards you.
Damn it.
Outwards from the cell itself, but yes, inwards towards
Out from the cell itself. Right. So in other words, if I opened it and stood against the wall of the cell, the door, if I stand behind the door would be between me and the rest of the room, if you see what I mean, mostly.
the cell door itself?
Yeah, so if I put my back to the cell and open the door, as it were, as wide as it will go.
You'd be behind the bars.
And yes, behind the bars of the door,
yes,
and
I get
with
what
the doors to my back.
You can run in there,
so I'm
grab
going to
the
go
thing and
throw open the door with the dog cage, and then pull the door right round so it's in front of me, so that the dogs at least have to go round the damn door before they get to me.
Cool. Okay. So you go rushing into the room, swing that dog cage door open. You notice it was unlocked, and it actually started to open as you came in. There was a sound of a release, and the door started to swing, and you just grab it and pull it. So it's kind of going, you're in a corner basically, and it's covering wall to wall in front of you.
Yep.
The cage fighters and the flail hounds, as they're called, will step into the room proper. The cage fighters, how many did I say there was? There was 2 cage fighters, yeah? And
3, I think.
3 cage fighters, sorry, and 4 flail hounds, yes. So these cage fighters are armed with swords and axes. What are the rest of you doing?
I'm just trying to catch up and figure out what's going on here.
Okay, so yeah, you come out into the room. You manage to figure out the door's not open. It hurts, but you manage to kind of Zweihander's dragging on the walls and ground as you manage to get the door open and walk out into the room where Clort and Grin are standing with these 2 prisoners who are, one with clubs and one with knives nailed to their hands, who are saying, "Please don't kill us. We'll do whatever you want." You hear the crowd you hear kind of like a booing, with the people, the distant voices. Oh, boo,
Yeah, I stabbed both these
boo.
fuckers
No
right in the throat.
mercy, no mercy. You
Yeah,
stab.
no mercy
Yeah.
given.
All right, you stab them in the throat. Yeah, in the pit, in the pit, in the pit.
And then I let them slide off my daggers into the pit.
Yeah. Clort would just try to give a kick to dispense one of them. Yeah.
Yeah. So you kick one into the pit, the other one slides off the daggers into the pit. You see then dark figures rush out and start clubbing them at the bottom of the pit.
Nice stabbing, kid.
Yeah, high five, no wait.
And you look around. You see, obviously, Deru has gone through the door to the northeast. You're not sure where he's gone to now. Rushed in there.
All right.
Clort's just looking around worriedly for the next threat that's going to try to assail him.
Same here.
So, Deru, give me an initiative roll.
1.
A 1. Okay. So these 3 cage fighters. Well, let's see here. One of them at least has a sword, and one of them has 2 swords, and one of them at least has 2 axes. The other one has also 2 swords. 2 of them have swords. They're going to come over to where you're behind this cage door in the corner, and they're going to try to stab you through the bars, through the separation between the bars. It's going to be hard because they got to get through the bars, and I imagine you're not just standing in one place letting them pincushion you.
I'm going to push the door away from me, as it were, so that I try and maximize the distance that that they have to get through.
Sure.
It's about my the only time.
So for your defense, because you've got this cover of this door, I'm going to give you. I'm actually going to give you a +4 to your, or a -4 to your damage difficulty, your defense difficulty. So instead of rolling for 12, you're rolling for 8s on your defense rolls. You're going to have to make 4 of them.
Okay. So it's going to be a 9 with my -1 agility. So first one up is an 11. Second one is a 13. Third one is a 3. Fourth one is a 7.
So the first 2, you're slipping, you're like, aha, you can't get me. Maybe the second one hits off the bars. The third one comes through and sticks you. What's their damage here? D4. For 2 points of damage.
All right.
The third one comes through, you rolled a 7, or the fourth one, I mean, sorry, comes through. And also hits you for 2 more points of damage.
Okay.
2 of them pinch because you can hear people on the other side of the. Let me double check this room's location. Yeah, you can hear people off to the walls on the right and the left. Chittering and cheering. Oh yeah, got him. Oh yeah, oh, he's cornered. Oh yeah, that was a big mistake. He just pinned himself in there. One of the contestants has pinned himself behind a cage door in the cell room. Will any of his friends come to help him out? Sure doesn't look like it. And then it's your turn.
Ends is a loose turn.
I know. It's your turn.
Is
Daru.
that us?
You can do something else if you want. I don't know.
Sorry, was that
like your options are probably kind of limited, but you could try to do something.
Well, I was sort of hoping that the dogs would also count as enemies and go on their turn and attack these fuckers, but evidently not.
They seem to be working together. One of the guys with the axe, the one guy with the axes is over there petting one of the dogs.
In that case.
Oh, that's a good boy, Tooth. Good boy, Tooth.
Okay, in that case, I guess the only thing I can do is this is not going to work out well. But all I can do is just try and shove the cell door forcibly against them to try and get enough room to run for the open cell door that they just came from.
I'm gonna treat this like a combat maneuver, and I'm gonna call it based off of your strength. They have just attacked, and they're attacking recklessly with 2 weapons as well. So I'm going to give you a strength check, with a difficulty of 12. If you succeed, then you can make a break for the other door. For the door, I mean, not the other door.
With a 5 on the dice and 4 for my strength mod and -1 for my strength modifier, that's a no.
Okay, so you push it forward, and they push back against it and push you back. Swords coming through, trying to jab you, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the other room, Grin, Daru, and Grin, Clort, and John. You see the clubbings and stuff going down below. You could probably hear the screams of Daru as he's fighting for his life. Apparently, it would sound like in the next room. And you also hear a booming voice going, "Oh, good boy, Tooth. Good boy, Tooth."
Oof. Well, let's get out of here while they're eating him.
You guys can go to the other door and just leave him. Yeah, there is another door.
Yeah, I'm getting out of here.
Clort is ready to move away from the action. Yeah.
So I kind of screwed up on my description earlier, Neil. That room that you've gone into, the first door you would have went through leads to like a little 20-foot corridor, which then leads into that room. I forgot to describe the 20-foot corridor.
Yeah, I wouldn't have hesitated at all. I'm sure I would have carried straight on.
Just to say. But the door you guys go through, you go over to the door in the northwest corner. This goes north. It's a corridor, L-shaped corridor, basically goes 15 feet north and 15 feet west after a 90-degree turn to another door. You can still hear the sounds of struggle going on back in the other room. Give me another initiative roll, Dayru.
2.
Okay, bad guys go first again. So give me your 4 defense rolls. DR 10 because they are attacking. Oh no, I said sorry. I said it was a DR 14, didn't I?
For my
Not
defense,
DR
I don't
14,
remember.
not for your
to be honest.
defense. No, sorry, defense. So normally these guys are attacking recklessly, so you're normally at a DR 10. I also gave you a +2 for the cover. That would have brought it down to an 8. Oh yeah, it's a DR 8. That's what it was. Yeah.
Okay,
Go for
all
it.
right.
That makes sense.
So first roll is a nat 20. So I'll
At
just
20, you get a
take
free attack.
Okay, I'll take that now. Which I rolled a 1 on. So what happens with a crit fail?
What kind of weapons do you have nailed again?
Warhammers.
Warhammers.
Mhm.
On a crit fail, the weapon breaks or is lost. Yeah, so let's say you break the head off the hammer. Now you just have a stick there on that hand.
Okay, I was going to say something even crueler, but okay, I'll settle for that.
1d6. Well, I figured if you lost the weapon, then you have the free use of your hand again. That's more of like an advantage than a disadvantage.
Well, I know. What I figured is that as I'm kind of swinging this, I'm trying to swing the hammer through the bars, and I accidentally one of them kind of presses against it and kind of breaks my wrist.
Right. Yeah.
So that the whole hammer and hand is totally useless.
We can roll with that. That's the same thing.
Cool.
That's as if the weapon were lost, basically.
Yep.
I'm not going to make you take damage from it because that would be too cruel.
Hang in there.
And it would probably kill you. That was your.
Yep, first attack. That was my first defense roll, counter attack. Then I rolled a 16 for my second defense roll.
Good.
15 with minus. 6 for my third, which is a fail.
Okay.
And 4 for my fourth, which is also a fail.
Okay.
So 2 hits.
2 points of damage from the first one.
Yep.
Slips through. And 1 point of damage from the other one.
Broken.
Roll a d4.
2.
2 on the broken chart. Roll a d6.
5.
5, a broken or severed limb.
Break the other one. Break the other one. Break the other wrist. Go on, do it.
Oh my god. Okay, yeah. No, wait, you know what? Because I'm cruel, it severs your other arm. So your left wrist is broken, your right arm is severed, and you drop down. What happens when that happens? Broken or severed limb. Can't act. Here it is. Can't act for D4 rounds. Roll D4 rounds.
4.
4 rounds. So you drop down, severed limb, down for 4 rounds. Just make note of that. After 4 rounds, you can act again.
Yep.
Now, so you guys making your way down this L-shaped corridor. You get to the other door. You hear shouting going on, and then you hear Daru like scream horribly, and then it gets quiet. Quieter. And the crowd goes, ooh, and you hear the announcer go, grievous injury.
Hearing the terrible anguish scream of Daru as we move into the next chamber, can I just close the door behind us?
You can close the door behind you, yeah. So, yeah. And there's a door at the end of this L-shaped corridor. So you'll be coming into another room from the east side. You're facing west. Is anybody going to open the door and just go in there, or what do you want to do?
Yeah, I'm just sealing us off from the pit room, like leaning my frail body against the door that I just closed.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'll
kind of like out of breath, like, oh God.
yeah, I'll just exchange glances, like the okay, are we okay look, and then fling open the other door, and then put my back against the wall just in case, I don't know, somebody's behind there with a big crossbow bolt. I don't know.
Okay. So as the door opens, it opens into a chained hall. This hall is east to west, about 15 feet across, and from south to north, it goes about 50 feet. 15 by 50, is that right? 15 by 50? Yeah, looks like about 15 by 50 feet. So to the left, or at the south end of the room, if you will, there are 3 terrified prisoners, all with like chained collars on, and knives and clubs, nailed to their hands. They are they're collared, and the chain from the collar goes through a stone duct under the floor. Looks like over to the other side of the room, you're assuming, because on the other side of the room there are 3 rabid flail hounds, just like drooling and kind of growling and trying to get at these prisoners. And so as one pulls, the other gets pulled back. So as the dog starts to advance, the prisoner opposite him is pulled back, and as the prisoner advances, the dog is pulled back. So obviously they're attached. The exit to the room is at the northwest corner. There's a door heading west again, past the flail hounds. And the prisoners see you and they're like, please, please help us, help us. We're attached to these damn things.
I'm looking back and forth between them and the dogs.
The dogs definitely look more dangerous on an individual level.
Their situation seems like best case scenario for us, to where they're all kind of chained up and unable to advance on us. So I propose we keep moving through.
Yeah.
Well,
I think
to get
we're
past the
on the
dogs
same level.
to get through.
Can I pull, try to push one of the prisoners toward the dog, so that the dog's backed up? Just try to take the first one and move it away via this weird pulley system.
So you're gonna try to pull the prisoners further into the room to pull the dogs further back towards the wall?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. Clort. So you can go over and try and drag one of these prisoners across, see if it moves the dog. Well, there's 3 though, so you probably need to do 3.
I'm just going for the first one.
It'll bring you into range of the second dog.
Oh.
No, not that close.
You want to do all 3 at the same time, or not?
Well, come towards us. Come towards us, and I'll unlock you.
You say that to the prisoners?
Yeah.
Okay, starts moving towards
Pick your lock.
wrestling against the dog. Yeah.
Come on, all 3 of you, come here, and I'll unlock you.
Okay, they don't have to go too far to get to the door, unfortunately. But the farthest one from the door is about 12 feet away. So.
Okay.
Mike, John is with you. You've got John, Clort, and Glenn here.
I just don't know what's going on in character, so I'm kind of following the leader.
All right, old man, get ready to run and swing those Y-handers if you need to.
Might as well.
All right, if these prisoners come towards us, we'll just make a bolt for it while they're pulling the dogs towards the wall.
Okay.
So basically, wait for them to go over to us, and I hold my knife hands out like I'm ready to pick the locks.
Yeah.
When they all get close, just bolt.
Yeah, it's clever enough.
So maybe we can.
Is then
I love it.
Make some kind of a test to see if you can get across without getting attacked by one of the hounds. So there is a door you can see at the northwest end, at the northwest corner. I guess that's where you're bolting for. Yeah.
Yeah.
But before we do that, let's go see what happens back in the cage room, where Deru comes to. 1 broken arm, another arm severed. Roll a d4.
Ooh, 2.
2. You have 2 hit points, Deru. When you come to, your 1 remaining arm is useless. I'm going to say Deru's probably pretty much just a helpless prisoner at this point. He's probably dog food, is what he probably is. So do you want to roll up one of the other prisoners?
Sure.
To continue. We have a girl in a cell missing an arm with a short sword nailed to her other hand. Or missing a hand, sorry, with a short sword nailed to her other hand. We have the middle-aged woman with the 2 crossbows nailed to her hands. Or you could play, if you want, you could play one of these prisoners with the knives and clubs that are currently in the chain room with the dogs. There are options as well. I suppose. Why not? They're here.
Well, let's just see what happens to them.
Okay. Let's see what happens
in the interview while I'm rolling some dice, right?
Very good. So, Grin, John and Clort, you get the prisoners over there. You pull the "ha fooled you" and run, and they're like very disappointed and very sad and dejected looking. Let's call this agility tests. Actually, this is going to depend on who goes first. And so, who's the first to run?
I'll go first.
Grin's going first. Who's going second? Probably Clort. I imagine John's a little bit slower with the spy hunters. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
I'm following the lead on this trick.
Okay.
I'll go
Grin,
second.
give me a defense roll.
All right.
DR10.
Shoot. 7.
7. Okay, you get bit. That is going to
Sure
be
do.
1 point of damage.
Ooh.
And
Handle that all right.
give me a toughness test, DR10.
6.
A 6. Okay, that's infected. You have rabies now. It means you can't heal without like. I can't remember exactly, but infected basically means you can't.
I think
recover
you need
hit
like
points
a
quickly.
healing elixir or
Yeah,
something.
like that. Yeah, you can't heal through rest when you're infected.
Well,
next,
fortunately, that's not on the top of my list of
go
concerns
after
right now.
Grin was Clort. Clort, give me a. Yours is a DR12 defense.
I got a 12.
Okay, you make it across without getting bit. Dog tries to bite you, but you move your ass cheeks out of his way. And
Yeah.
last is John. John, you need a DR14.
Well, I rolled a 12.
You rolled a 12. Okay,
Yeah.
you get bit. Also for 1 point of damage. Give me a toughness test, DR10.
20.
20. Nice. You're not infected though. Clean bite. No infection. And you guys burst through that door. Give me presence tests, please. Just a standard normal DR12 presence test to see if you notice something before you go through that door. I assume you're going to go straight through that door though, because you don't want to stand here and fuck around with these dogs.
Yeah. Right. That's a 6 for me.
Okay.
I also have a 6.
Clort's got a
That's fail.
5.
That's fail. Okay, cool. So you guys just rush through the door. You don't notice what you don't notice because you're just too busy trying not to get bit by these dogs anymore. So you burst through this room into a narrow corridor on the other side. It looks like it's 10 feet wide. You're at the north end of this corridor and it heads south. It goes for, let's see, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70. It goes good 90 feet down this corridor. Like I said, it's about 10 feet wide, so 2 people could comfortably walk side by side across it. There are slits in the wall on the western end across from the door. I assume you close the door behind you, by the way, too, so the dogs can't get to you.
Well,
I
they're
was
on
gonna say
chains,
that.
right?
Because once you abandon the prisoners, they're going to be like, fuck that. They're going to go lean against the wall and let the dogs have as much slack as they want.
Oh, right.
Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
want to hear any of that dismay. I just
Yeah,
close
just
the
slam the
door
door
as we
closed.
rush through.
Cool. So yeah. So
If you want to get
guys-
Kit back in this, you could just say one of the
Yeah.
prisoners' chains broke, and he kind of tailed to like squeezed in behind us.
or if he wants to play one of the others that have the better weapons too, it's fine.
I was contemplating playing the girl with the short sword who's had her hand cut off,
Who's
who
already missing a
distinctly
hand.
remembers being chained to a motherfucker.
Cool. Good. Yeah. Who was chained to? Grin,
Nice.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, what's your new character's name?
Vatan, Vatan.
Vatan, and she has a short sword.
Yeah, what's the damage for that?
1 short sword, so she doesn't get the spinning attack. Short sword is a D4.
All right. Cool.
Yeah, Grin was like unnecessarily above the elbow too with that lock job.
Do you want to drop me a hit point or two for that?
You did say the wrist. I remember that.
I did.
So when you come to Vatan,
Mm.
yeah, you're missing one of your hands. Your hand is still there with a short sword nailed to it. And there's a short sword nailed to the other hand, of course. Did you roll up your stats and your hit points, all that? Yeah, already?
Yeah.
Cool.
Do you want to drop me a couple of hit points for the missing hand?
No. What did you roll for hit points anyway?
7.
Okay, yeah. You were a particularly tough girl before you lost that hand. Don't worry, you'll need all 7 of those. Probably.
Yes, I mean that's her last memory, is kind of fuzzily sort of turning her head and seeing herself chained to some bloke before she lost consciousness again. Now she comes to with this cocksucker. Get up. The door's already open.
Yeah.
Turn left. Throw the door open.
Yep, and you can hear some shouting going on in the next room around the L-shaped corridor.
Mhm.
So you go rushing forward.
Yep.
And I'll say you basically, what do they call that? Slip in behind. Who was the last one to go? Not Clark. John. You slip in behind the old man with these Vihanders. Attach his hands. Go ahead and give me a defense roll to see if you get bit.
11 plus 1. Oh, no, sorry. Yeah, defense plus 1, agility 12.
Okay. Yeah, you get bit for 2 points of damage. Roll toughness test.
All right. Yep.
Toughness test, DR 10.
Oh, sorry, yes. Fail.
Fail? Okay, and you're infected. You got an infected bite. Okay. But you kind of slip in through right behind John. John, you feel somebody slide in right behind you, and as you close the door, and there's the girl with one short sword. Looks like she wasn't dead after all. You recognize her right away, Grit. Well,
yeah, I
at least as a
whistle.
cellmate. I don't know if you knew each other beforehand or not. That's up to you.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah.
Well, I defer.
Yeah, I don't think so. Even if we did know each other, we pretend we don't. This
So
is
you guys
really
all standing here
awkward.
in this room, slits all along the wall, heading on the right side, heading south.
So I recognize. Do I recognize my former fellow prisoner, since he's still got the manacles attached to his wrist? I presume.
You said you remembered being manacled to him too. So yeah, you recognize him, and you see he's still got the manacle there. It's got some blood on it, but no, you know.
Yeah, my blood.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to kill him.
Okay.
Push my way past this old fool who couldn't wield these hot swords in this space, even if he tried.
Hey.
So you go straight to Grin.
Oh yes.
All right, Grin. Go ahead and roll a defense.
All right.
Let's see.
Did we
she's
get
attacking
initiative?
you.
Or
She's
yeah,
attacking
I'm
you.
just yeah.
Oh yeah, technically you're right. You should roll initiative. Grin, roll initiative.
I'll say she took me by surprise. It's a
Okay, cool.
pretty bold move.
All right, so she goes first this time.
Yeah, he backpedals a little bit, and I get a 14 on agility.
Oh yeah,
or
that's a successful.
defense.
You got knives. She's got a short sword, so yeah, you knock her attack to the side as she tries to attack you.
So yeah, I hop
Good
back
apples.
and like, hey, look, let's you know, hey, let's move forward. We all need to get out of here alive. Why don't you give us a hand?
I was prepared to go with it right up until that pun. No.
Now, do these slits in the wall go all the way to the floor?
Yeah, they're narrow slits. They go floor to ceiling.
I was gonna try to crawl beneath them, but I think I'm just gonna try to sprint past them in fear of what I saw happen to the woman with the knife earlier.
So you ignore the melee between Grin and Vatan, and you start running down to the south end of the corridor.
Absolutely, yeah. Moving away from all that mess.
You could run it in a turn. Give me an agility test, please, as spears start stabbing through the slits in the wall at you as you run past.
Great. That's a 9.
A 9? Oh, you do get hit. You take a spear tip for 2 points of damage on your way.
That's gonna finish me. I had 1 left.
Oh, no. So Clort goes running across. That was Clort, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Running south across chamber, and spears start poking through. He dodges a couple, and then one comes through and gets him right in the neck.
Yeah, my flails just kind of scrape across the ground as my body falls limp from the spear.
Well, nobody else should do that.
Oh, trap fatality. And you hear people, yeah, woo, it's about time. It's getting boring. Come on. Who didn't act? John, you have not acted. Do you want to do anything?
Yeah. Well, I'd like to. Are we in initiative?
Yes. You're the only one who hasn't acted yet. Vatan tried to
I'm
stab
gonna.
Grin. Grin defended
All right.
himself, trying to talk her down. Clort ran south down the corridor and got stabbed by a spear and killed.
Well, that sounds like a good idea. I'll do that, and hopefully not get stabbed by a spear and killed.
Give me an agility test, please.
I just
DR12.
have to make my agility test. 14.
Nice. You make it across and don't get stabbed. You get down to the south end, and you can see at the end of the corridor there's a narrower little hall leading to the west. So it turns right from the direction you're facing. Yeah, and it goes down there about 40 feet or so before turning again to the right, which would be north.
Okay, well, I'm turning to the west.
And start going down that way. And you quickly
Yeah.
notice there is a hole in the wall on the right-hand side. So it's the north end of this narrower hallway. There's a hole almost immediately on the right-hand side. And you hear a man say, "Psst. Hey, you bring me to safety? You can have my shackles. Hey, I'm Leomold. Please help me get out of here." And you can see kind of a scruffy old man poking his head through the hole. You can see he's got a little hidey spot here on the wall. But we'll go back to initiative.
How do you suppose?
Go ahead, say what you want to say.
How do you suppose I'm in any position better than yourself to get out of here?
If you just let me go with you, you can have the shackles. And he's holding these like kind of broken shackles up.
I don't want your shackles. You can follow me until you annoy me, and then I'll put you down.
Neil, why don't you roll d6 for me, please?
Certainly. And that will be 5.
Are you still planning to attack Grin again, right?
After that pun right at the end there, yes.
Okay, you go first. I'll let you make an attack roll this time, so I have him roll defense roll. There's no rules for PvP in Mörk Borg, but yeah.
That seems an odd gap in the rules.
It sounds like some player content is needed.
So I missed emphatically.
Okay, so she swings again and misses horribly. Grin.
I'm gonna push her into range of the spears.
Yeah, okay, go ahead. Let's call that just an attack roll. We'll call it an attack roll. And we're going to make it a DR, instead of a normal DR12, we'll make it a DR14 because you're trying to push her into a trap, basically.
Okay. 16 on the dice.
Okay, give me an agility test there, Vatan, as he maneuvers you into the path of one of these slits, and you can see
14.
a spear coming through, and you dodge it.
14.
Spear does not hit you. John, back to you. So the old man says, "All right, okay, I'll follow you."
All right. I'm actually going to get down and crawl.
Crawling on the ground now, heading west?
Yes.
Yeah, west. Okay. Kevin, do you want to play the old man, or?
That's the
Leomold,
the guy who's whispering.
The scruffy old guy who was hiding in a hole. Mm-hmm.
Sure. You want me to roll new stats?
Yeah, go ahead and roll new stats.
Yeah, I'll play him.
And you have a magical item too.
Okay. Let me sort out my stats real quick. If you want to come back to me, I'm gonna just need a second.
It's a scruffy old man hidden in a hole in the wall. It doesn't say anything about him having weapons nailed to his hands. Interesting. He probably should have weapons nailed to his hands, though. Oh no, you know what? I'll say he's been. No, he doesn't. He doesn't have any weapons. He's got scars, but he managed to get his hands free a while back. Yeah, that sounds good. He's been. I can only assume he's been hiding in this hole in the wall for a while. So while he rolls up that character, we'll go back to. Okay, so his name is Leomold. I'll write that down here. So Leomold and John are crawling towards the end of this corridor. Back to Grin and Vatan. Grin, you can roll initiative this time.
6.
A 6. Okay, you go
Mhm.
first.
I say you better run unless you want to get stabbed by a spear. Trying to glance towards the other end of the hallway, like we need to get going.
Okay. What do? You do need to make a decision. You can still stand here. It doesn't matter. But either way, you're going to be making another agility test this round, Vatan. What do you want to do?
So these spears are kind of intermittently shunk, 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 coming out from
Yeah, they're
random
just from the
sort
one
of
side.
spots,
They're
right?
just from the western side. Yep, they come through these slits. And they don't seem to be mechanical. The way they move and stuff, you think there's somebody on the other side of the wall jabbing these through.
And since he's already shoved me
Kind of
into
the
this part of the corridor with the spears in there, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
so I'd be stupid to stand still and try and
Yeah.
attack him while somebody else is trying to stab me.
Yeah.
So yes, I'm going to turn and run to the far end of the
Okay.
corridor to try and get past beyond them. Yep.
Give me a agility test.
Agility. Yep.
Mhm.
17 plus 1, 18.
Nice. Yep. You managed not to get stabbed by spears, and you run to the other end, where you see two
Then
old men crawling on the ground on the corridor to the west.
I turn around, heft. Well, it's nailed to my hand, but I heft it and I turn around and I wait.
Okay. Very good.
All right, and you said Leomold?
Leomold. Yep, like Leopold, but with an M instead of a P. Leomold.
Yeah. So
You
Leomold
have your only
has
possession.
been hiding.
Yeah, he's been hiding in this hole for a while. I'm gonna guess he was probably a former prisoner who just managed to kind of hide away and escape. So you've got, you know, you've got healed wounds or healing wounds anyway in your hands from where you used to have a couple of knives nailed to them. You still have those two knives, I'll say, too, as weapons. Okay, if you want.
Okay.
But your hands are free. You also have your broken shackles of the unbound, your shackles. They give you a +1 to hit and damage whenever you're attacking any kind of authority.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I just see everybody kind of running through.
Well, right now,
chamber.
John has gotten down on the ground now and is crawling west down this 10-foot wide corridor. Do you want to follow him? That was the original thing. He was going to follow. You originally were asking him to lead you to safety, so.
Right. Yeah. I'll follow the guy who's leading the way.
Okay. Got it.
Grin.
So you get to the end of the corridor and it turns right and then continues north to another door. Yep. There's a heavy wooden door at the end of that corridor. Then, John.
All right, you scruffy little dog. You're going to open this door and see what's behind it.
That's me.
Yeah, that's you. I don't see any other scruffy little dog in this corridor.
Kick the door and immediately move to the side.
Nice.
So that Grin is the first one that would be seen on the other side of the door.
Just for the hell of it, let me take this down and take this down. There we go. You can kind of see a little bit. There's a basic map. The room that you just kicked the door open to, Leomold, is room 6. It's the big room there. It's called the amphitheater. The corridor that you guys have just struggled your way down there is number 5, kind of in the middle there is that long double wide corridor. Of course, we have Vatan would be standing at the south end of that corridor, near where it turns into a narrower corridor heading west. And Grin is currently at the north end of that corridor, near the door that leads back to the room with the chained dogs and prisoners. So, Grin, before I describe to Liam, Old, and John what they will see in the amphitheater, what are you going to do?
Well, it's a tough situation. But I guess Grin's going to make a run for it through this spear gauntlet and stab this woman at the other end of the hallway with 2 daggers.
Okay. Right, so you're going to run through there
though.
and do 2 attacks on her with your daggers as you're playing. Now, you're waiting for him as well, so I assume you're going to do an attack on him when he gets to the other end, depending on who wins initiative. First, he has to make it through the spear gauntlet. So give me an agility test, please, Grin.
That's 19.
A 19. You make it through, like quite agilely, easily dodging spears, ducking, looking cool in the process. And roll d6.
All right, that's your turn.
Okay, Neil rolled d6 then.
5.
5. Okay, so she gets the first attack as you come in for short sword.
Ooh, not with that dice though. Oh, but I am going to spend an omen because it's worth it to re-roll that.
What did you roll, Neil?
3.
Okay, yeah. I was say if you could reduce the difficulty by 4 and succeed.
Yeah, no, not enough. I have to take the re-roll. 9.
Man, these omens have stunk tonight, haven't they?
Yeah.
Okay,
Mm.
still miss.
9. Yep.
Okay, so she attacks and misses. As you come charging in, you get 2 attacks. You get a +2 to your difficulty rating because you're using them both at the same turn.
All right, here we go.
So you need a 14 or better.
I've got an 8 and an 18.
Second one hits. So your damage,
4 damage.
4 points to Vatten. And then, so Liam Old steps forward and kicks the door into the amphitheater open. It's the strangely shaped kind of, what is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess it is hexagonal. Yeah. Okay. It's just weirdly shaped. Well, that's not hexagonal. Hexagonal has to be equal, right? Whatever. You know what I mean? It's a 6-sided little kind of 6-wall room there. The walls of which seem to be covered in spikes that are hard to see a little bit. They're almost like camouflage spikes, but all the walls in this room are covered in spikes. As you kick the door open, the portcullis opposite you opens up, and a large man-like figure with the head of a black hog comes walking in. He's wearing metal patched armor. He's got a big spiked mace in his hand, and a shield in the other hand. As he comes walking in, and the announcer says, "Ladies and gentlemen, they've made it to the amphitheater. Welcome, Death Galore champion, Snoutface!" And you hear people cheering, "Snoutface! Snoutface! Snoutface!" As he kind of bangs his mace against his shield, walking in across the amphitheater in your direction.
Liam Old, knowing this is the only way forward and the only way potentially out of this mess, is going to charge right up and swing his shackles.
Will we crown a new champion on Death Galore tonight? I don't think so. All right, roll initiative.
Rolled a 4.
A 4. Okay, you can go first. Snoutface is
Alright.
moving because as you're getting closer, you realize it's a mask. He's not really a minotaur or whatever, or a hog minotaur. You know, it's just a mask.
Just wearing a pig face.
Yeah, he's got. It looks like it's made out of black leather. It's a black leather hog mask.
He'd be a
And now
porkator.
And he's.
I have the
eagerly
shackles
coming in your
on
direction.
both arms, correct?
Yeah, probably, but I they're broken, so you're not bound. But yeah, imagine you have once
Just
he
like his
refuses
chains
to give-
hanging from my
you
wrist.
can like click them on and off, kind of thing, something like that. But basically, but you wear them for good luck. Now you offered them to him as a prize for leading you out, but he didn't want them for some reason. But they're your most prized possession, so
Yeah, I'm just kind of like dual, like grip my hands together and just whip both of these chains like over my shoulder down on top of them.
Okay. I'm going to call that a D4 damage for the chain attack. It's a strength attack. And you do get a +1 to hit and damage.
Well,
Because
I
this counts as
rolled
authority in this case for some reason.
6, so I think I'm going to spend one of my omens to re-roll that.
Go for it.
Much better. 16 plus 1, 17. Actually, I add my strength as well, so 18.
No, you don't add strength. Oh, yeah, to an attack roll.
Just-
Yes, you do. Yeah, you do. Sorry, yeah, 18. Perfect. So that's a hit. Your damage is a D4
All right,
plus 1.
D4. 4 plus
What's this guy's
1.
name? Snoutface. I need to write down his hit point tracker.
I got a 4. That's a 5 total.
So you got a 5 total. What's his armor reduction? -4. What does the shield do? Anybody remember?
You can negate all damage and let it break, I believe.
Yeah, but then there's also something else that you can do with a shield. I've got to look it up though.
It's not on the primer either, the shield thing. Okay. Sorry, I just
-1 damage.
negative 1
Or
damage.
you can choose to ignore all damage from one
and
attack, but the
shatter
shield
the
breaks.
shields. Gotcha. Okay. So
Yeah.
I rolled a 3 for his armor reduction, -1 more for the shields. That's 4, and you did 5.
Yep.
Okay. How many hit points does he have? Okay. Got it. You did 1 point of damage. So he grunts a little bit as you hit him. Boom. And he swings his mace. Let me see here. Yeah, we'll go with this one. He swings his mace. So go ahead with the defense roll, please.
Plus agility, that's a 19.
19. You nimbly, for a little fuzzy furry old man, scruffy old man, sorry, not furry, scruffy old man, nimbly jump to the side as his mace comes down and hits the ground, and dust flies up off the as you hear the sounds of the metal spikes scraping across the stone of the floor. And who else is there with you? John, you can act if you wish.
Can I swing both Zweihanders?
You certainly can. Yeah, you can charge and swing both 500s if you want. Now you're going to have a +4 DR because normally you get a +2 anyway because it's 500, and it's +2 for using both at the same turn.
So that do I have to modify my roll, or it just raises the DR, right?
It raises the DR, yeah. So normally you're going for a 12 to hit. You're going for a 16 in this case with each attack.
Okay.
You get 2 attacks.
Well, it looks like I have 1 miss and 1 hit.
Okay, so you do hit with one of them. Great. D10 damage. I'll roll his reduction. Ooh, only 2 points this time.
Ooh, that is a 10.
10, so he takes 8.
Clean as clock.
So yeah, you hear like the announcer go, ooh, and everybody gets kind of quiet. Like everybody's kind of cheering out. Oh, that moment of apprehension as you hit a nasty blow on this guy with a Zweihander. Takes a chunk of the metal plating of his armor off of his shoulder, and blood is now spraying all over the place, all over you and Leomold as well. And it's a horrible bloody show, but he's still standing. And he kind of like wails in rage and pain as he prepares to attack again. But before that happens, we'll go back out to the hallway real quick, the corner of the hallway, where we have Grin and Vetan fighting to the death. It's your turn to roll initiative, I think, this time, Grin.
All right, here we go. 5.
5, you go first.
I don't think there's any I'm just gonna basically be defensive, and
You can hear all the announcer and the crowds and stuff too, so you know there's something going on. There's something about a snout face, and
yeah, I kind of look at this situation and it's just getting bogged down. So I'm gonna act like I'm gonna fight, and then I make a break for it and run towards the other room.
Okay, I tell you, give me a presence test.
Okay, that's an 11.
An 11. What's your presence, Neil? Modifier. Do you have
Minus one.
-1, just enough. So you feint like you're going to attack, and she bites for it, and then you get a little bit of distance. You can start running away from her. So you go
Right.
running down to the end of the corridor, turn the corner. It's not that far. Yeah, you can see into the room. You can see Snout Face there fighting with John and some scruffy little old guy you've never seen before who seems to be swinging the chains of his manacles as weapons. Do you want to go into the
All
room?
right. Oh yeah.
Okay, so yeah, you can enter the room. You won't be able to enter the combat this round, but next round you will.
Yeah.
You're in the room now in the amphitheater. And then it's your turn. You can go right behind him if you want, Vatan, of course.
Oh, yes.
He got
Oh,
a little
yes.
bit of distance from you, so you're not going to be melee, but you're right behind him, basically.
Oh, yes.
Cool. And she comes running in after you as well. Great. Now everybody's in the same room. That makes my life a lot easier. Initiative. Let's see here. Let's let who's in the most danger. Oh no, let's do it that way. Let's say who just did 10 points, 8 points of damage anyway to Snout Face.
That's me. You
Yeah,
want me to
John.
roll initiative?
You roll initiative, John.
I got 3.
Okay, Snout Face goes first. Yeah, he's gonna go straight for you. So roll your defense. He's pissed.
What I do if I were Snout Face?
You just cut off one of his shoulder.
I rolled a
pauldrons.
16.
Did a bunch of damage to him. You rolled a 16. So he swings, and he's just too slow. You're able to, even with these two Zweihanders, you're able to kind of duck to the side and avoid his blow. So then it's your guys' turn. So I'll let you go first since you're right in melee with him right now, John. He just attacked you.
I'm, going to give the fans what they want and the double Zweihander attack.
Okay.
And-
You're 16.
It looks like once again I've got 1 hit and 1 miss.
Okay, 1 hit, 1 miss. Roll your damage. I'll roll his damage reduction. It's going to reduce by 3 points.
Oh wait, is that a? That is a 9.
9. Describe how you kill Snoutface with your double Zweihander.
Nice.
Well, first I knock off his mask to show his fans that he was nothing but a humbug. And then, in his last humiliating moments, just right down to his throat and out his butt. Throw him off like a shish kebab.
Nice. He crumbles to the ground. And you notice, like, where the armor shattered off him, you can see he's wearing a uniform. He's wearing a Galgenbeck City Guard uniform. He's got a captain's insignia. And everything's quiet, like with shock almost, right? As I assume Vatan goes up to try to stab Grin again. Presumably, yeah?
Absolutely.
Roll initiative.
1.
A 1. Okay, so Grin, she's still coming after you. Do you want to continue running around the amphitheater away from her? Or do you want to fight back?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just stop and do like a scissor maneuver with my
Nice.
daggers to try to
Attacking with
chop her
both?
head off.
Go for it.
Yeah.
In fact, I'll let her roll her. Oh no, you can roll your attacks. Go ahead. So it's going to be a DR would normally be 12. You're attacking with both, so that brings it to 14. But you have daggers. Yeah, 14.
Okay, I rolled a 12 and a 1 on the dice.
Okay, the 12 misses. So the first knife attack misses, and a 1. The weapon is either broken or lost. She is using a short sword. Let's roll. Broken. So you come in with the second dagger, and she brings a short sword across and hits it just right to where the blade actually breaks off of the tang of the what's it called, the hilt essentially. And that dagger is now useless.
All right. Okay, we're even.
Mm-hmm. And it's her turn.
Are we though? Are we? Okay, so to hit is strength mod, right? Yeah, 15.
A 15. Yeah, that's a hit.
Short sword is D4, and that is 3. 3 points
3 points
damage.
of damage to Grin.
All right. I'm down 4 hit points out of 6.
Okay. This is unheralded. The champion is dead, and the winners continue to fight amongst themselves. Who will be the new champion of Death Galore? And everybody starts saying, yes, fight, fight, Fight! 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 There can be only one! Now, in this room, you can see, of course, there is the portcullis across the way, which is now in the process of closing again. It begins to close. You can see movement from beyond it. You also can see there are more spear slits on the wall to the east, so you might not want to get too close to that. In fact, if you look at my map there, you can see there's a little area where the guys with the spears can stab into either room. But yeah.
I like all this glory, you know. Maybe I want to stick around and be the new Porkhead, you know.
All right. I assume anyway that Grin and Veten are still trying to kill each other at the very least, while John and Leomold, I don't know what you guys want to do. Let's go with individual initiative now, just to make it easier, so we can just do everybody take a turn. I think that is your agility plus D6, if I recall correctly. I've never done it.
Yeah, I've never done it either. First time for everything.
Yeah, let's do it. Oh,
I got
it's on
a
you.
2.
Yeah, agility plus
Leomold,
D6.
Leomold has a 3.
2, a 3,
Vaten 3.
3. Grin.
Grin has a 5.
Okay, Grin, you get to go first.
Okay. Grin with one down a dagger. He's gonna make a break for it, try to slide under that portcullis.
Okay, cool. I like it. Let's call that an agility test. You don't really need your hands for it, so there's no negative for that. Let me pull back up that primer again. There we go. So we're going to call this a difficulty of 12.
I have a 9 on the dice plus 3 agility.
Oops.
Just
12.
make it.
Perfect. Yep. I hit the wrong one. So you charge in and you slide under the portcullis just as it closes down. Well, no, I won't say it closes. I'll give everybody else a chance to slide in as well if they want. And I'll describe to you what you slide into after we decide if anybody else goes after you.
Yeah.
3s were next, so that's going to be Vaten and who else had a 3? It was either Leomold or John. Vaten,
Go ahead,
go
Vaten.
first.
You've got the vendetta.
Yeah, absolutely.
Give me that agility test.
Yeah. Okay, so that is, but I only get 10.
A 10. So the portcullis slams shut, you slide into it and stop anticlimactically, as you didn't make it in time to go after Grin. And Grin is now locked on the other side of it all alone, so I'll tell him what's in there. You've slidden into what looks like maybe, well, okay. First of all, size. We're looking at 20 feet by about 20 by 35 feet wide. As you can see, there is one big, heavy, locked iron door on the north end, almost right across from the portcullis, a little bit to the right. To the left, there is a heavy wooden door, much like the other wooden doors you've encountered so far in this dungeon. Also around the right, it looks like there are other ways to go. There's corridors and stuff. In this room, you have 2 cage fighters, an announcer, you assume, because every time he talks, it sounds like this. And he also has a megaphone sewn to his mouth. He's wearing manacles as well. Is there anything else in this room? The announcer, the two cage fighters. That is it at the moment. Yep. Okay. So the other 3 are back in the room. Vaten got to the door, but not got to the portcullis, but not before it closed. Leomold and John. Which one of you guys had 3?
I had a 3. Leomold.
Leomold, you can go first. What do you want to do? You can go next.
So I see the portcullis slam shut, and I just scream wildly to the crowd, "You want gore?" And I'll tackle John, and try to force John into the wall of spikes.
Ooh, that's an interesting roll. Okay. Let's call it an attack roll against John. Go for it. I'm going to call this a DR 14 because I'm going to assume he's not just real close to the spikes.
All right, with my strength, I got a 14 on the nose.
Okay, so you ram John right up against maybe one of those pillars with the spikes or sticking out of it. The damage on the spikes, John, I think it's a D4. Where's the spikes thing here again? Sorry, amphitheater, spikes, yeah, D4. So 1 point of damage, John, as you get rammed into this spiked wall or spiked pillar.
Ooh. Am I stuck to the wall, or did I
No,
just get
you got stuck to it. You just took damage. You can attack.
Okay. I warned you
if
not to
died,
annoy me,
maybe you'd be stuck to
Scruffy.
it.
All right, I'm
How do you want to attack? You can do a single attack with one of your 500s. You can attack with both 500s, or you can do the spin right round maneuver if you want. But there's kind of no point because then you just get dizzy and you still only have one person you can hit anyway. So yeah, it would be silly. One or
just
two
to
attacks.
show the small regard in which I hold him. I'm going to hit Scruffy with one Zweihander and
Excellent.
keep one Zweihander behind my back.
Excellent.
And I critted. I critted.
I'll
Okay.
use my last omen to have you re-roll.
There you go.
All right, all right.
Reroll. Good timing on that one.
Oh my god! I mean, if you don't believe me,
You got another
Double
one?
crit.
I'll take a picture.
I believe
Well,
you.
not that that proves anything.
Critical hit on Leomold. Critical hit does double damage. Yeah, no armor, protection, anything of that sort. So go ahead and roll your D10 damage and times 2.
Yikes!
You can still roll
I
that.
rolled 5 for damage.
So it's
Double
10.
is 10.
I'm assuming
Yeah.
that probably cuts a little more than
Leomold
half.
is cut in half, yeah. Bisected.
Oh God.
So in showing your disregard for him, you lazily swing the one Zweihander and bisect him, leaving only Vetan and yourself now in the amphitheater. Grin on the other side. Grin, roll initiative D6, please, as these
That's
these
so
two
brutal.
cage fighters are coming at you.
4.
A 4. Okay, then you go first. 2 cage fighters, one
Oh.
with 2 swords, one with 2 axes.
Oh boy. Hey guys, it's pretty rough out there, am I right? And I just take a run for it.
Are you gonna try to run for it? Where are you gonna run to?
I don't know, the corridor to the south. I mean, as a player, I can see the
Okay,
map,
so
but
as you edge around
as
the
a
corner,
rat in a
that's
maze,
fine.
I'm
Yep,
just trying to get away.
that's fine. As you edge around that corner, you're facing down that long, narrow corridor there. You see, let me see here. There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, there's 5. Is it supposed to be 5? Oh, wait. Yeah, there are 5. Were they prisoners or were they? Who was stabbed through
Five
there?
somethings. I don't even care. I'm not going that way. I'll go towards the door to the south.
Are they just? I'm just trying to figure out if these guys are prisoners or nobles. I can't remember for some reason. Here's the description because it's in the other room. Yeah, they're nobles. So there's like 5 nobles with spears there, looking, and then there's a door on the other one heading east. You running for that one?
Yeah,
door?
I'm just trying to get
So
away.
you see them, you're like, oh shit! You run over the door, throw that wooden door open into the galleries, and you're facing in here. You can see another 6 nobles in here. These guys are armed with these ones in particular. Sorry, nobles are armed with. They're armed with like butter knives and stuff, basically like small little knives, you know. But they see you coming in. You can see obviously that there's slits, holes in the walls again too. It's obviously these are some of your audience members and such. So there's 6 of them down this hallway, which is number 9 if you look at it there.
Mhm.
With like small knives, butter knives, basically it says here, butter knives. Down the other corridor, which would be kind of to your right and over your back, there's, what did I say, 5 of them with spears. And then there's the
Mhm.
cage fighters behind you and the announcer.
Yeah.
Where are
I
you going to make
mean,
your stand?
I'm gonna try to grab one of these nobles and get a hostage situation going.
Okay. Cool. So you grab one of the nobles. He's like, kind of panics as you do so. The other nobles back away from you further down that corridor with their butter knives. Like they don't seem to want to engage you as you grab this noble. But the cage fighters don't give a fuck, and they're still coming on you. So they're going to make attacks. So you're going to use the noble as a body shield?
Absolutely.
Cool. So go ahead and roll a defense roll for, just see if the first of these cage fighters hits. Oh, wait, this corridor is not very wide. They can only attack one at a time. Yeah, okay.
Well, I got a 9.
A 9? Okay. So he comes forward, and you're holding it. He's attacking, but you're using the noble, and he doesn't hit you or the noble. The noble's pleading, like, oh my God, it's so exciting, but so terrifying at the same time. Somebody help me. Somebody help me. Stab him in the back, you cowardly fools. And we'll go back to the amphitheater. Vatan is over there by the portcullis. Probably.
She's trying to lift it. She's trying to lift it, one-handed or not.
Fantastic. How heavy is it? Portcullis. Okay, give me. Oh yeah, one-handed as well. Give me a strength roll. We are going to look for a very high number here.
Well, I rolled a 10, so I don't think you need to. Yeah.
No. Yeah, it was going to be a 16 or better.
Yeah.
Nope. You're grunting, trying to lift this portcullis. What about
Can
you,
I
John?
see Grin? Please tell me I can see him.
You saw him, and then he ran out of your sight. And those two cage fighters went after him. You can still see the announcer kind of cowering by the big iron door across the way.
Meh.
One of the contestants has escaped and made it through to the entrance. He's now heading into the galleries. It sounds like he's taken our noble hostage. Cage fighters are trying to settle the situation. Meanwhile, we still don't have a champion. 2 contestants remain in the amphitheater. 2 contestants remain. John, it's your turn. Or Vatan. It's both your turns, technically.
I'm still going to try and lift this portcullis.
Okay, she's still trying to lift the portcullis. So John, it's your turn.
Geez. I hate to stab a one-armed woman in the back, but sometimes you got no choice.
Don't we all?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
But it looks like I missed anyway. I rolled a now. I rolled a 10, and I subtract 1 because I have a +1 strength, but -2 because of the unwieldiness of the Zweihander. So that's a 9.
Okay. Yeah. So you come over, you swing, and you just, you kind of see a little bit of torchlight shadow of him coming up behind you, swinging the Zweihander overhead, and so you kind of roll to the side a little bit, and it just drags across the portcullis, sparks flying, big clanging sound, and yeah. Then it's initiative. So go ahead and roll initiative, Neil.
Is this individual or group?
No, I'll just go back to just 1-on-1, so I'll just go with individual.
Yeah. 2.
Not individual, but I mean 1. So you rolled a 2, so he goes 1st. So you can attack again, John.
Yeah, you know what? I think I'm going to have to do the two-handed and take that penalty and hopefully roll well on
2
one.
attacks. Difficulty is going to be 16.
Ooh, well, not only did I fail, I rolled a 1 on one of my attacks.
Okay, so roll to see if you break the weapon or if you break the arm, and it looks like you broke the weapon. So yeah, so that time you swing and again hit up against the portcullis, and this time it breaks the blade of one of the Zweihanders. So now instead of doing a D10 damage, that Zweihander is basically just a short sword, D4.
Right.
The other one's still D10. And you missed the other one as well?
1 is a miss and 1 was a critical miss.
Okay, cool. Got it. Daytime. Your response.
11. Miss, I assume.
I assume you were just attacking with your single short sword. Yep. So
Mhm.
that's a
Oh
miss.
yeah.
Oh wait, 11 combat rolls. So you only need a 10 to hit because he's unwieldy with the 2 Zweihanders. So you hit.
Oh, okay.
On the 10.
In which case, damage is 2.
Because if he was rolling defense, he'd have +2 to his difficulty, but you're
Mm.
rolling the attack, so I just give it 2.
Mhm.
2 puts me
Two
at
puts
0.
damage. 0, roll a d4 for broken. Man, I've never had so many broken. It's great. Usually,
All right, that 4 went behind the
That's not
monitor.
bad.
It's a 2.
a 2 on the broken chart. Roll a d6. Oh no.
That is a 3.
Broken or severed limb. Let's see here. Let's see which limb it is. Odd, it'll be the short sword limb. Even, it'll be the two-hand. It's the short-hander. So you break the sword in one of your hands, and then she severs the limb. She takes the arm off, and you drop down
But
to the ground for you'll regain consciousness, missing an arm, in 4 rounds. Maybe. Oh, she could
ooh,
just freeze dry you. No, you're
yeah,
right.
I don't
She's
see
gonna
these
she's just
4
gonna cut your
rounds
throat. She's
working
gonna
out
finish
well
you
for
off.
me.
She's gonna finish you off. All right. So she finishes him off, and the announcer says, "Ladies and gentlemen, what a unique situation. We have a new champion, but we still have a hostage situation in the gallery. Champion, would you like to dispatch this prisoner for a rare chance at Death Galore freedom?"
Vatan, with having slid the entire length of the short sword straight down through the clavicle into the chest cavity, slides it back out, looks around, and indicates that they should raise the portcullis door.
Clink, 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 and the portcullis begins to raise. The cage fighters back off, and
Walk past them.
they go back into the entrance. You're still holding this noble hostage. There are how many did I say were in this hallway?
5,
Five.
was it?
5. There was 5.
5
No,
in
there
the
was
one
4.
hallway.
There was 4 in this one. I
Yeah,
think.
Yeah.
6.
So there's 3 more standing there with butter knives, kind of like making like they're going to attack you, but you don't think they will. They're kind of scared of you. And
Yeah.
you see your friend come around the corner as these cage fighters go back, seemingly back to the entrance area, foyer area, whatever you want to call it. You see a familiar face come into the corridor in their place.
Okay.
Are these recognizably and definitively noblemen? Like clearly
Yeah. I mean,
regalia, etc.
they're nobles or aristocrats, whatever, that kind of way.
Fair enough. Yep, fair enough.
Yes, they definitely are
As
not
long-
commoners.
Okay.
You can tell
Well,
by how
Grin's
well
not
fed
waiting
they are.
around to exchange pleasantries. He shoves the noble towards the one-armed death lady and makes a break for it down the hallway.
Okay. Let me roll a morale for these nobles to see if they fight you or flee. Oh, sorry. They have a morale of 1. They flee.
We're
So
all fleeing together.
they duck into the gallery kind of area and let you run past them. Vatan, not too far behind, I presume, once you push.
No. Vatan. No. Now she sees the real cause of all her troubles. She's going to walk into the gallery and start setting about these nobles with her sword.
No.
Fuck them.
So she starts murdering these nobles as you
Oh,
run
yeah.
down. Yeah, you can run down to the end of the corridor if you want, and then it turns 90 degrees to the right, which would be heading south. There are 3 more nobles in here who are cowering in the gallery. They don't want to fight you. And there's a door past them at the end of this hallway. Grin.
Yeah, right through the door.
Okay, you run through the door.
I got to get out of here.
Vatan, you kill 3 of the nobles before the cage fighters come charging back into the gallery to try to stop this.
Mhm.
But they do, of course, because they don't want you killing all the nobles. Jesus Christ, these are the people that are paying for this game. So 2 cage fighters will be coming in charging to engage you. You go to the door, Grin. It opens. There's a stairway leading down a short ways, goes down maybe about 15 feet all told, and it's about maybe about the same length, so it's kind of like 45
All
degree,
right.
more or less. You go down there to the
Right
other
down.
door at the bottom of it, opens up into the beating circle, and you see 4 nobles armed with batons here, and you can see the body of what was her name from earlier, Kilnock, and the body of the cage fighter that was killed earlier. And these 4 nobles but these ones are armed with batons. See you. Well, it's one of the escaped prisoners. Get him! And they will charge you. So we're both in combat situations. Both of you can roll initiative. I'll start with you, Neil, anyway, see how your combat goes with the 2 caged fighters.
Sure. 4.
A 4?
Mhm.
All right. You go first. 2 caged fighters. One with 2 swords, one with 2 axes.
That is an 11.
And 11. No bonuses, nothing. Oh, no, their DR is 10. You hit. Yep.
Okay.
Because they fight with 2 hands, I forgot. So they have a DR 10 instead of 12.
And 2 points of damage.
2 points of damage. Do they have any? Oh, yep, they do have damage resistance. He resists 2 points of damage. So you cut him, but he doesn't seem to notice. Because their armor is just called maniacal. So I guess they're just so crazy they don't feel the pain. This is cage fighter and another cage fighter. Got it. And over here, he's fighting 4 nobles. Okay, got it. So then it's their turn. First one attacks you, make your defensive roll. Oh, that's going to be 2 defensive rolls each. Your defensive target is 10.
So it's a 7 and a 14.
A 7 and a 14. So one of them got through with the swords. That sword hits you for 2 points.
As it slides under my rib cage and through my liver, I sort of he's probably taller than me, so I just look up at his face, spit in his face.
And
I'm dead.
The one-armed murder short sword lady is dead. Grin. How'd you do in your
All
initiative
right. Am I adding my agility or just a regular roll?
roll? No, it's a regular roll. Roll a d6, sorry. Yeah.
Okay, a 3.
3? Okay, so they go first. So you can roll, well, I would say only 2 of them get to you right now. So roll 2 defenses against batons.
Double 2s. That'll be 5 and a 5.
Oh, so they both hit. First one did 2
Lucky
points of
me.
damage. Second one did 1
That
point of
puts me at
damage.
0.
Ah.
Maybe
It's a
the
wash.
second one
It's a
with.
wash, ladies and gentlemen. The champion turned against us, betrayed us after the wonderful bargain we offered her. And we find ourselves, for the first time in a long time, championless here at Death Galore. Apologies for a few spectator deaths, but this is the price we pay for entertainment in the city, is it not? And with that, none of you escaped. You didn't even get to the big boss at the end, unfortunately, whose name I'll tell you. Well, not at the end. Technically, I mean, you could have escaped from here. That big iron door is the exit out of the dungeon, if you will.
So
The other
close.
door there, however, leads back towards the Bacchanalian chamber where Grand Duchess Rotunda sits on her palanquin with her servants, watching the festivities through the peepholes in the wall. But yeah, it was pretty cool. I thought, anyway.
Yeah,
That
if
was
we
fun,
escaped,
yeah.
it wouldn't have been Mörk Borg.
Yeah.
So no, I don't have a full copy.
Yeah, I like the irony of escaping back to the pit where everybody fell in and died, and then dying.
Right? It was wild. It was chaotic. If I go, oops, sorry. If I do that and go here. There you go. There's the full adventure. That's the whole thing. Can you see that? I don't know if that's coming through on the screen. I'm not looking.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not.
Just a
Nice.
two-page adventure.
Wow, that was wild.
Yeah, ain't bad for a
There it
teenager.
is. courtesy of the Dissident Whispers collection. Which is
Nice.
just
Yeah,
a full
check that out.
collection of 58 two-page adventures for various systems.
Nice.
What I really liked about that was that it felt remorselessly random,
Yeah,
just brutal. You know?
yeah. I was thinking about. I was like, man, what do I do if characters die real early? I was like, well, there's other prisoners. You could just play one of the other prisoners. Why not? Doesn't hurt.
That
anything.
worked out very well.
Yeah, it was cool.
Yeah,
How
it
many,
was a
how
great
many deaths do
time.
we have? We have 1, 2, 3, 4,
I lost
5,
2.
6.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody lost 2 characters except for Falcon, who only lost 1. So we had 7 player character deaths. Not too bad for 4 players. Good fun though. Thanks for playing, guys. And once again, congratulations to Alex, who won the book. I'm going to end the session there.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you.